And welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United versus Manchester City, the derby, the big game for Liverpool, the big game for City, the massive game for Manchester United. If you're here for the live match reaction, the link's in the video description. But if you're here live, and we are live, we're still an hour away from kickoff. We have got team news coming up for you very shortly, and we'll see what happens with that, whether it will be the team that many people think it is, or whether it's going to be a little bit different. I don't know. We're about to find out. But let's see how it goes, because we actually don't appear to be live, which is great. I think I've made a bloody mistake, which is absolutely fantastic. Don't worry about it. Maybe, oh no, I think we are live. Are we live? We should be live. Come on, get live. We are live. We were live. We're still an hour away. We are live. Don't worry. It just took a while to come up on my screen. Took a while to pop up. We're early. We're live. We're not. Is it being called off due to the leak? Look, there was a major storm at Old Trafford, and that caused some people to think the game would be called off. The reality is, I don't want it to be called off. I'd rather give City the 3 points. We've got to play this game. We've got to get it on. Starting 11 is the leaked team then, so we've got it right. It is De Gea in goal, Darmian at right back, Smalling and Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Ashley Young captain, Fred, Andreas Pereira, Pogba, Lingard, Rashford. No McTominay, which really is quite surprising. He's not even made the bench, so he must be carrying an injury. The bench is Romero, Dalot, Mata, Matic, Alexis Sanchez, Lukaku and Martial. Look, what I would say about that team is it is quite mobile, but the hypocrisy absolutely stinks, doesn't it, yet again? I mean, the favourites are in there again, aren't they? Youngie and Rashi. Oh, I'm playing Youngie and Rashi again. I mean, it's just bollocks. It's absolutely bollocks. How does Rashford start yet again? He's absolutely been shit and should be dropped, but starts again. I agree with Martial being dropped. I think Rashford should have been dropped as well. I'm not a fan of Alexis Sanchez, and you don't learn anything by playing him, but bloody hell, I mean, how bad does somebody have to be to get dropped? It's ridiculous at the end of the day. Ashley Young starting, and Ashley Young getting the captain's armband. I mean, look, I know Gary Neville said that the problems don't start with Ashley Young, it's the more talented players, but he is absolutely shit. Why is he wearing a Manchester United shirt? I don't agree with Dalot being dropped, by the way. I mean, I thought that Darmian should have played a couple of games already this season. He's not played since January, and then suddenly he's not even been on the bench, and then suddenly he appears for the Manchester derby. And you think, well, Dalot's been playing for us in Paris. He's played for us in Spain. He's played for us when we've had major injury problems, and he gets dropped for the Manchester derby to bring Darmian in, who we're going to sell in the summer anyway. It's weird. There's a weird element to that. But what I do like, I mean, Herrera's injured. What I do like is the fact that there's a bit of mobility in that midfield three with Fred and Pereira and Pogba. I think that will help Pogba out in this game, because Matic would have been you may as well have just given Man City the 3 points and cancelled the game. So Matic not being on the pitch is a real positive. He's too slow, he's not good enough, and he shouldn't be anywhere near the pitch. So we actually, and with regards to the midfield three, I think that works quite well. How this team's going to work, I don't know. Probably best to ignore the formation I've gone with. I've gone with a 3-5-2, which will effectively be a 5-3-2, because we're going to park the bus. We'll talk about the Man City team in a minute. But it could be a 4-3-3. I mean, Ashley Young could be somewhere in the midfield, I suppose. So, I mean, CWS Stars says it's as good as any Manchester United lineup. I think he's right. I think any United lineup, people were going to moan about it today. But look, Lingard's got to turn up, Rashford's got to turn up, Pogba's got to turn up. It's good to have Luke Shaw back. They're all looking moody. I have no sympathy for them. I have no sympathy looking at their pictures and looking at them looking moody. I feel like going, and what? Like, you're a bloody disgrace, lads. If you can't put in... And I tell you what as well, I've just got to address this straight away, because I know we'll have a lot of Liverpool fans watching tonight, and I totally... Look, Van Dijk's going to win Player of the Year. Well done. I'd rather Van Dijk won it than Sterling, because so many years it's got to be one of those two, and it normally goes to an attacker. So it's great that a defender's going to get it. It's not great that one of our biggest rival is going to get it, and it's not great that our biggest rival might win the league. But what I will say is this, is that... Manchester United will piss me off no matter what. If I cannot deal with a draw tonight. I just want to say that straight away. I cannot deal with a draw. A draw is nothing. I would rather lose than draw. Draw doesn't do anything for us. Draw's not going to help us get top four. We've got to win. Draw will hand Liverpool the title. Draw will screw City over. So a draw is just a terrible result for us. But it's something that these players would go, well, we got a draw. We've got ourselves a draw. A draw is not a good result for Manchester United. I do not want to draw. I want to win. I do want to win. I know a lot of people probably feel a little bit different about it, but I personally do want to win for United in this game. I think it's important that we win and we try to keep our top 4 hopes open for as long as possible. But I will be annoyed, and I must just say why I'll be annoyed. I'll be annoyed if we win, because it will just annoy me that, the big marquee game, you all bloody turn up, but you don't turn up in all the other crap games that you've dropped points this season. And if we lose, I'll be like, you can't even turn up for a Manchester derby at Old Trafford. So either way, I'm going to be annoyed, because I think ultimately this game won't change my path with this squad. They just really annoy me. But I do want United to win. I think you've got to hope for top 4. So I do want us to win. I want to get a lot of comments on that. So get in the comments now. Tell me what result you want and why. I feel sorry for Ollie. He's the right man with the right mentality, but the squad is full of overpaid divas, says Weasel97. The Turbo Warrior 343. Any United fan with an ounce of sense would say they wouldn't want us to lose to City. Period. If it gives Paul the league, we can only blame ourselves. That's an interesting point. Kevin Kogoni says, I gave up hopes for top 4 after I saw Young in today's lineup, barely trying to be positive. Come on, United. And I want goals 15, 44 goals in 44 games and 18 assists, but Greenwood doesn't even make the bench. What else does he have to do? But apparently we use the youth. Apparently we do use the youth. George Ramos, I feel like crying now. What has Scott done wrong? I think McTominay has to be injured. He has to be injured. There is no other explanation as to why he wouldn't even make the bench. Look, I want to talk about the Man City team, but I want to get people's opinion on this. Do you want United to win, or do you want City to win to stop Liverpool? It's quite simple, and actually I've seen some really long-term United fans today saying I want us to lose because I don't want Liverpool to win the league, and I've seen some people saying you could never want that. Well, you can want what you want, because that's what fan opinion's all about. You can want what you want. You go with what you want. What I don't want is a draw. I would rather lose than a draw. I don't want a draw. I think a draw is going to happen because it's the biggest, crappiest result that we can produce. I think if we win, we've got a very good chance of getting top 4, and I have to focus on that more than anything else. So I've got to focus on the win. And to be honest with you, if those set of players who've just been beaten 4-0 at Everton and now have a home game against Manchester City at Old Trafford, if they don't go out and win there tonight, then I'm very worried about this team anyway, but I'm really worried. If we can't react after that at the weekend tonight in a game like this, it's just pure adrenaline and effort. And that's not something I like, because that should be happening in every... it will really annoy me if we win tonight and we play absolutely fantastic, because there's no future in it. Like, if they go out there tonight and produce a game of football, a lot of United fans will fall into the trap. Yeah, we're back. But we did it a year ago. We did it at the Etihad a year ago, and then we lost to West Brom the next week. These players can produce brilliant performances one-off, but they can't do it consistently because they're Jelly Baby FC, they're Pampers FC, they're bottlers. But they better bloody get a result tonight, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. United have to win this game. Do you want to be in the Emmerdale Cup, or do you want to be in the Champions League? I still, as angry as I am, I still want to be in the Champions League. Of course I do. I think that's the be all and end all. Shirath Kamath Fitness says, I'm happy Martial is dropped, but why Young again? This irritates me so much. Of course I want United to win, but we will lose. Look, mate, I cannot say enough. I do not understand what's going on with Ashley Young. Martial does deserve to be dropped. I think Rashford deserved to be dropped as well. Lingard was already dropped at the weekend, so, fair enough that he comes in. But Ashley Young gets dropped at the weekend, comes on at half-time when we're 2-0 down, plays absolutely shite, still gets picked from the start with the captain's armband today. He cannot lead a pack of ants to a picnic. He's a terrible captain and he's a terrible footballer, and he shouldn't be anywhere near this shirt. But I'll tell you what, we are absolutely drowning in this effort twattish opinion where, are we tries? Well, you know what Manchester United's team is, right? You've got half a team that will run through brick walls for you and absolutely will try their very best in a United shirt, but they're shit. And then you've got half a team that's very, very, very good, but can't be asked to run around in the shirt. It's the perfect match for what we are seeing at United. Pampers FC, inconsistency, and that's the problem with United. We don't have any footballers. You look at Arsenal, you look at Chelsea, you look at Spurs, you look at Burnley. They have a footballer a few footballers in their team who will run through brick walls for that shirt, but are also good footballers. At Manchester United, we've got a divide straight through the dressing room with really talented players who can't be arsed and really shit players who can be arsed. And that's the problem with Manchester United. Pure and simple in a sentence. We don't have players who can be arsed who are good enough. We've seen glimpses from people like Martial and Rashford and Pogba, but they don't do it consistently enough. They're the talent and they don't do it enough. Can't be arsed. And then you've got the crap bastards like, Ashley Young, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Nemanja Matic. They really do want to try, but they're crap. They're like me running around in a United shirt. And this is why, for me, it's never personal, because I could be Ashley Young. You could be Ashley Young. It's not personal. He loves wearing a United shirt. He wants to try his very, very best. He gets it. He wants to. But unfortunately, he's like me in a United shirt. He'd just be crap. We need to win equals top four equals attracting players equals hope, says Riley Robertson. I agree with you on that one. If we can't take the points off Liverpool by ourselves, we shall never ever throw a game to hurt them. Hope we get more pride than that, says Fianga at 80. I think that's a fantastic point, and it's certainly a point that, Mark Palfrey says, who would you replace Young for tonight? Well, there's a player on the pitch already, Darmian. You don't need to play Young. We could have played a 4-3-3 and not played Young. I'd play Delo over Young. You know what, mate? I would play Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at right back over Young. I really would. If we lose and Liverpool still win the title, sack everyone, says Ruddy Cox. Look, in relation to Liverpool, it's as simple as this. If you want United to lose because you don't want Liverpool to win the league, I get it. I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. But I do agree with the fact that we've played Liverpool twice and we've given them 4 points. And all we needed to do was take 1 point off them, and we haven't managed to do it. We embarrassed ourselves at Anfield, and yeah, we had a lot of injuries at Old Trafford, to be fair. But you can't help yourself, can you? You know, it's a horrible situation for Manchester United to be in. But let's talk about the Manchester City team, because I think that is where I will start talking about this game and say very, very simply, no matter what we want, it's not as simple as saying, Manchester United, do we lose the game on purpose or do we win the game on purpose? When you look at Manchester City's lineup, they've got Ederson in goal, they've got Laporte, Kompany, Walker, Zinchenko. Their midfield three is Fernandinho, Gundogan and David Silva. And then they've got Sterling, Aguero and Bernardo Silva. And then on the bench, you've got Sane, Danilo, Mahrez, Otamendi, Jesus and Foden. They've got really good quality on the bench. But I think that team is beatable. I really do. I think Kompany can be got at. I think Laporte is a good centre-back. I think Zinchenko can be got at. The midfield three of Fernandinho, Gundogan and David Silva is very good, but Pogba on his day can be really physical and cause them problems. And obviously their front three, Bernardo Silva, I think Luke Shaw has certainly got the pace to deal with him. Sterling against Darmian could be a mismatch, but Aguero against Lindelof and Smalling. Look, the point I'm trying to make, and I suppose I'm probably not making it as well as I would like to, is that they can win this game because they're a far better team than us. Man City, from what I've seen, are a better team than Liverpool. Liverpool deserve a lot of credit for being in the race with them, because Man City dropped silly points to Leicester, to Crystal Palace, to a couple of other teams. They took their eye off the ball, and Liverpool have been ridiculously consistent. So they deserve to be in a title race, and whoever wins the title deserves it. But I think Man City are the best footballing team in the league, which is why what Spurs did last week was so impressive. They should roll up and beat us for two reasons, really. One, they're far better than us. And two, they have a philosophy and they know what they're doing. United are in disarray. We've got a shit squad. The only thing that makes me think United are going to win this game, and I think United are going to get a result, but the only thing that makes me think we're going to do it is because for years and years, Manchester City were a crap team, but we used to play them in derbies. And we'd go into that derby in the same situation today. We'd be Man City with the far better team going for titles, and Man City would be awful, sometimes going in relegation battles. But it hardly, now and again we'd smash them, but sometimes they'd smash us. But they would get good results against us every now and again. And that was because it's a derby. A derby is a great leveller. And that's all we've got tonight. We're not a better team than Man City. They're a far better team than us. But because it's at Old Trafford, and because it's a derby, and because these players got hammered at the weekend, they have to react. I think that is a great leveller. Korshik Kamaran says, fearless football, they said. 5 defenders at home. Why not Delo instead of Darmian? He has hardly played this season. Puzzling team selection. Well, it might not be. It might not be a back five. I just think that it probably is. Anyway, let's start. Let's start with the old. What was I going to say? Please smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes before kickoff, because we are superstitious. And also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, the United Stand, Manchester United's biggest independent fan channel. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've been to every United game, home and away this season, abroad, everything. And we will have fan cams for you after the game, Flex interviewing the fans, so they'll be coming up. So make sure you're subscribed, you've got your notifications on, and you get involved with the channel. We react to everything. Transfers, previews, Ollie's press conferences. There's loads of content on here. We've got a fantastic community and I'm sure you're going to love it, so get involved with that. Tyson Marley says, seen the Amazon City documentary, Mark? That's how a club is run. Also, I think today how Pep motivates his players by using their ego is more effective than the club and its history, like Ollie tries to use. Thanks for the contribution, Tyler. I've never watched that Man City Man City video, to be honest. I just don't like Man City. And welcome to Ian White, who is our latest member of the United Stand Members Club. I must just shout that out as well. If we've got any members in the live comments, you'll see their name is in green and they've got the United Stand FC badge next to their name, which highlights them as a United Stand member. But also you get access, your badge will change every month you're a member, so it goes all the way up to, I think, 6 badges, which is it's got platinum with 3 stars above it. So your badge changes every month. But also you get access to our emojis, which I'm sure some of the members can use, which work really well on the match games, because we've got lube, we've got Jurassic Park, which you might see a bit of Jurassic Park defending. We've got Ollie at the wheel. We've got about 20 emojis that are exclusive for the members as well. So you can sign up by joining as a member. Zachary Purvis says, the lack of youth is bordering on ignorance at this point. Pereira can prove to be a Herrera replacement, so hopefully that makes us forget no youth. And yeah, look, I don't know what Mason Greenwood needs to do to be part of that bench today. I really don't. And thanks for the members who are using the emojis and showing everybody how it works, and the fact that you get a badge next to your name as well. Apparently Gary wants City to win, says George Ramos. That'd be quite a big thing for him to say. I don't think that he would publicly say that, surely. No favour for the Scousers, says Sir Ian. Look, the point is, if you want Manchester United to lose because you're a United fan and you hate Liverpool, Man City are massively favourites in this game. But Arsenal are playing Wolves tonight. I think if Arsenal win that game, we ain't going to get top 4 anyway. Doesn't matter if we beat City or not. We need Arsenal to drop points tonight, and then we need to beat City tonight and Chelsea at the weekend, and top 4 is in our hands. If Arsenal win tonight, I think they'll go on and beat Leicester away, and they'll get the points they need to get top 4, and we won't catch them anyway. So it's an interesting night for United. Welcome to Nathan Swain, our latest member. I forgot to say that if you do become a member, it comes up as like a super chat as well that you're a member, so we'll shout you out. And Barnes says, derby games are a different kettle of fish. You'd expect Liverpool to smash Everton, yet they always struggle in the derby. Nerves are heightened. Exactly, Barnes. I think that is the only reason that we have a chance in this game tonight, because it is a derby. Shane Murray says City are going to win 3-0. Get your score predictions in, actually. Let's do that while we're just talking about it. I'm going to go United to win 2-1. Yeah, I'm going to go United. Look, I know they're going to put in a performance tonight because they've got no other thing to do. They can't do anything else other than put a performance in. They've been taken to the old United training ground at the Cliff this morning to have a run around. So he's trying absolutely everything he can, quite rightly, it's not Ollie's fault, to get these players up and motivated. The crowd will be up for it as well. So look, I expect United to pull a performance out tonight because they have to. And they'll piss me off when they do, because I'll think of all the games they haven't done it recently. The Wolves, the Watfords, the West Hams. I know we won some of them games, but they were terrible performances. 6-1 United revenge, says Harris King. I mean, look, one thing nobody really seems to want to talk about is the referee. I think the referee could have a massive impact on this game tonight. And, Youngie, look, if a referee has an impact on the game, that could be important. I don't think we'll get that lucky. I mean, people will say, well, there's no reason why we couldn't be the ones getting the penalty. Merb Ill says, Ron Atkinson knows what's wrong with this squad. I hope he's not being racist. And welcome 420 Marley says, welcome new member 420 Marley. Welcome David Newell. And welcome Ollie C, the latest members of the United Stand Members Club. Thanks, lads and lasses. 5 at the back didn't work at Barca. Why does it work now? Says Philip Engen. I did see a comment today about somebody said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who is the referee, by the way. I don't know who it is, and we've had a few people asking. Kifon fans just asked, so if you can let us know in the live comments. I think United, in the first 3 months, it was very simplistic. It was 4-3-3. It worked really well. We passed out from the back. We pressed high up the pitch. We moved the ball quickly, and we had some good results. We had some lucky results, but that was because we had a philosophy. I think in the last month, we've lost our way. We've tried to be too clever again. We've started trying to look at the opposition and trying to, almost do the perfect counteraction to what they're doing, and I don't think it's worked well for us, to be honest with you. What's going to happen in this game is whether we win the game or not, and I actually think we are going to win it. Call me stupid, I don't mind. I think we're going to win because I think these players have got nowhere else to go. They've backed themselves down an alley, and the end of that alley has to be 3 points tonight, because if they don't get a win tonight, I dread to think what the fan cams are going to be. I dread to think what the fans' reaction is going to be. If City roll in and beat us comfortably today, where do you go as a football club? Obviously people like Martial have been dropped and Delo have been dropped and Matic has been dropped, and, maybe that's the right thing to do. But if these players who've been given the chance tonight don't turn up, then where do you go? You've already got a load of dropped players on the bench. He clearly doesn't want to use Alexis Sanchez, because I don't rate Alexis Sanchez, but surely, what else can he do? What else? How can he not be starting games of football for Manchester United with the crap that it is? So we've got to pull in a performance tonight. We really have. Dane Summer, thanks for the contribution. He says, won't 5th place get in the Champions League if Spurs or Liverpool win the Champions League? Says Dane Sumner. I don't know how it works. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. New member, welcome to JMB. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, said the man in the orthopaedic shoe. But, no, that's the wrong saying. But the referee is Andre Mariner. Ooh, he's got a penalty in him, he has. So if neither Chelsea or if neither Chelsea or Arsenal win the Europa League, that's a Champions League spot gone. So they're irrelevant. So if Liverpool or Spurs win the Champions League, but then they finish in the top 4, I don't think it goes down to 5th. No, I don't. I don't think it does. I don't think you can finish 5th and get in the Champions League. I think we can get 5 spots, top 4, and then one of the Europa League winners, but I don't think you can get it by finishing 5th. Zachary Purvis says Darmian could be a good right centre-back in a back 3. He's not bad with the ball at his feet for a central defender, and he is mobile. His attack is what lets him down. Yeah, I think if you look at that team on my left with the predicted formation, because that is the lining up. That is the lineup. We just don't know the formation. I think that maybe Young might be the right wing-back and Darmian might be the right-sided centre-back, but we'll see. I mean, the reality is you don't need to play a back 3 against Man City anyway, because they're only going to play one up front. So you're just giving up the midfield, really, aren't you? Simple as that. Goodbye top 4. Top four is gone long ago, says Marky and K Bohr. And Sergio Hernandez says, Sal Alexi, keep his dogs, have Lingard retire. He won't do anything with his career. May as well focus on his clothing line. And we've seen the pink boots emoji there floating around. Thankfully, Phil Jones is not able to play today. Top 4 isn't gone if United win tonight. If United win tonight and they beat Chelsea, surely they can beat Cardiff and Huddersfield. That would give us 4 wins. And as long as Arsenal drop points in either Leicester away, Wolves away tonight, or Burnley away, which I can't imagine they're going to win all 3 of those, and we've beaten Chelsea, we'll be into 4th place. So that's what tonight's all about. If you win the last 4 games, you do get into the top 4. Interestingly enough, and Tylen's right, it's not gone yet. Few people saying it will be a 3-5-2. I don't think we'll have enough of the ball to be a 3-5-2. I think we'll try and hit them on the break, but I don't think we'll have enough of the ball to be a 3-5-2. Interestingly, Paul Pogba's on my screen there. Lots of rumours that, again, I I will say it again over the next few days, but I am going to say it within this video now, and it might surprise a few people, my opinion on Paul Pogba. There's a rumour that he's told his teammates that he's going to leave in the summer. This has come from L'Equipe in France, who I think were the first people to break that we were signing him 3 years ago. Welcome to Stuart Runkeman, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. You can join that by clicking the button. You'll get a little badge next to your name and access to the exclusive emojis. I think Manchester United should sell Paul Pogba. Yeah, I do. People might be surprised by that who watch the show, because I like Pogba, and I really do. But I think that this is a relationship that's just not working out. And it's not about dancing. It's not about disliking. I think he's a very good player. And I think in a team where he's surrounded by world-class players, he'll be a very, very good player. But he's never going to get that at United. Are we going to buy 2 or 3 players better than him to make him better? No, we're not. He's the focal point of our team, and I think that's the problem with Pogba. He needs a couple of players better than him to allow him to breathe and be the good player that he is. He's been here 3 years. I think you'd be a brave person to say it's been a successful 3 years. It's been an inconsistent 3 years. There's been great highs, but there's been big lows. I personally think that he is too influential in the club. I think everybody looks up to him, and I don't think you get enough on the pitch from him to be the focal point of the team. I think now is the time that if we sold him, we'd get good money for him. I think it's better for Pogba if he goes, and I think it's better if United go. And I'm sad about that, because I do like him. I just don't think it's going to get any better. I think if he stays another 2 years, we'll see another few good games, few very bad games, unless we went and bought 2 world-class players to put next to him, and I don't think we'll do that. So I think this summer is the time to sell Pogba, and I think Manchester United need to be brave enough to do that, but that's just my opinion. That's what I think about it. Welcome to the Machine 94, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Jesus Escobar says Bailly and Rojo are better options than centre-back than Young. No, says Jesus Escobar. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know why Ashley Young keeps getting picked for Manchester United. If he has to have a good performance tonight, because if he has a bad performance, there's no consolation in us all going he's crap. We already know that. So he's got to put in a good performance. Salman Sulfika says, why is Rashi not dropped? Well, Rashi, Youngie, Lingy, whoever else is one of the favourites in the squad, they don't ever seem to get dropped. But you would expect Rashford to put in a good performance tonight. Local lad, gets what it's all about. If you're going to drop Martial or Rashford, you're probably going to drop Martial, aren't you? Because you're going to think, well, Rashford being a part of the youth setup, he's going to understand it a little bit more. But I just hope it. I hope that they can put in a performance, and I expect a performance tonight, no matter how naive that might be. What does your combined City United 11 look like for tonight's game, says Jacob Chambry. Right. I would keep De Gea in goal, although I think Man City fans would be quite within their rights to say they'd rather have Ederson, because he has far better ball distribution in the way they want to play football. I wouldn't put any of us. I mean, Lindelof, I think, could compete with company, but I don't think Man City fans would want to do that. Luke Shaw would get in because he's far better than Zinchenko. Obviously, Kyle Walker. Their midfield 3 would walk in. They would. You know, Fred, Pogba, Pereira. I've got nothing against any of those players, but they're not Fernandinho, Silva and Gundogan, I'm afraid. So, no one from the midfield and no one from the front 3. It would have to be Sterling, Bernardo Silva and Aguero. So, 2 players, Luke Shaw, Lindelof and De Gea. But I think Man City fans would argue about De Gea and Lindelof quite rightly. I think they feel that they've got better players. But Luke Shaw is one I don't think you could ever say wouldn't be in there. We're going to lose, says Mohamed Farouk. And I think they should have put Rojo instead of Young, says Tyler Blevins. Look, Rojo's pretty shit. I've got to say, Rojo is pretty poor. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, we're going to try and get to 425,000 subscribers tonight. It's a big ask, but maybe we can do it. So please share the link, subscribe if you're new, and smash a like on the video. We want 2,000 likes before kickoff as well. Superstition. The writing's on the wall. Tyson Marley said, would be great if we win today. Scousers think they've won the league and get done by Wolves on the final day. Would be AFTV meltdown times 10. This has got nothing to do with us. The title race has got nothing to do with us. And I'm embarrassed that we are potentially the holders to the throne. But the point is, if Man City win tonight, I think they'll win the league. They'll go on and win the league. I can't really see any game that they're going to mess up in. I mean, I know they've got Burnley away at the weekend, but really, 90 minutes against Burnley, they'll beat them. So, Man City beat United tonight, they'll win the league. Liverpool fans know that. You know, we've got Liverpool fans in the live comments. You know it. You know if City win tonight, they'll win the league. If we draw or we beat City, Liverpool will win the league. It will. I know there's still games to drop points in, but I think Liverpool's hardest game is Wolves at home on the last game of the season. They've got Newcastle away. They ain't going to lose any of those games. And Man City, likewise, I don't think they've got a game they're going to lose either. So, and let's not forget, Man City haven't got De Bruyne tonight. I mean, who haven't we got? I keep saying this. There's nobody we haven't. I mean, Ander Herrera, personally, I think is a massive player, but a lot of United fans wouldn't agree with that. So we've got nobody missing, really, although I do think Herrera is a big loss. But they've got people like De Bruyne missing. So, but yeah, you know, tonight is the title decider. Don't care what anybody says. It really is, isn't it? Simple, straightforward. And City will know. City will know that. Liverpool will know that. You know, anything can happen in football. Yes, it can, but I think everybody knows that this game is going to be the one. It's going to be the one. Mark, thoughts on Gareth Bale loan? PS prediction, says Son Goku Ian 97. To be honest with you, it's my biggest fear that if we actually do decide to sell Pogba and he goes to Real Madrid, we will do something stupid like include Bale as part of the deal. Which, you know what? I'd just be... I don't think I'd even be angry. I'd just be like, what the hell are we doing? Last player signed who cost a lot and was consistent, says Meb3. Well, Lindelof started off badly, but he is quite consistent now. There isn't one, is the answer. Matic and Lukaku failed. Dalot's not been consistent yet. You go back to the previous summer after that. You think about Bay, inconsistent. Zlatan's gone. Mkhitaryan's gone. Pogba's inconsistent. You go back to some of the other signings. You know, Daley Blind has gone. You know, we've bought so badly. It's a very good question because we have bought so badly, and I think that's, you know, evidenced quite frankly and quite comfortably by the fact that we, you know, this is why we're in a problem. As I said, if you've joined us a little bit late, we were talking about what the problems with the Manchester United squad is. And I was saying, well, it's very simple. It really is very simple. The problem with Manchester United's current squad is half the team are like me. They love to wear the shirts. They'll run through brick walls, but they're shit. And then the other half of the team are really, really talented, but they're lazy and inconsistent. We don't have players that are good enough and consistent. And most other teams in the top six have that. But we've got this weird split in our team of crap players who want to play for the shirt but are crap, and good players who are lazy and don't play consistently well. And that's the problem with United. It's and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot... You know what? The thing is as well, people say we'll go and spend 300 million, and I think we do need to do that. But the problem with that as well is that, you know, name me a club who signs 6 players and all 6 players are good signings. I think if you get 70% of your signings doing well, you've done well. So it's a horrible job long term. We shouldn't be looking long term though. We should be looking short term. Hello, can you hear me, mate?
Hi, how you doing? How are we all?
Well, I think we're good, but I think we're all a little bit mixed up by what we want tonight. I mean, what do you want, Marcus? Tell us what you want. What you really, really want.
Well, for me, I think you've got to look after your own at the end of the day. Yeah. United have got to, you know, we can't really bother to think about what's going to happen. If we lose, you know, it obviously hands our biggest rivals the title. If I don't know, you know, it's such a messed up situation. But I think at the end of the day, we've only got ourselves to blame. So all we got to do is just concentrate on our own business, and hopefully we get the 3 points tonight, and the lads show up and put a performance in.
Logically, that is how I feel. I think, you know, if we win our last 4 games, we'll get top 4. But I'm going to be absolutely frankly honest here. If we win tonight, City will not win the title and Liverpool will. And I know even though I'll be happy with the win, over the summer, I will think we gave Liverpool the title and we could have stopped it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I want that to happen. I don't. But what I'm saying is, I know over the summer I will sit there going, if we just let City beat us, Liverpool wouldn't have won the league. And you know when Liverpool win the league, they're not going to shut up about it. And freak of nature or not, we have their title, the first title in 30 years, in our hands. And we have to look after ourselves. We have to go for top four. But I know over the summer I will think, oh, you know what? We could have stopped it. And that's the shit situation we're in. You know, you just got to... you've got to accept it. Let me just read these super chats. Burns Marty says, Mark, I hope the players turn up just like they did last year when City needed to beat us to win the league. Yeah, we've done it before. Nick P says, Mark, if City score tonight, don't go too nuts like the Everton game. This team isn't worth the level of stress. That's something out of my control, Nick, at the end of the day. If I could control that, I wouldn't go nuts sometimes anyway. But yeah, you know, seriously though, I do think United will win tonight, Mark, because I think we've watched so many games together collectively, the United Stand community as well, that I know that they can produce results. We saw it last year at the Etihad, 2-0 down at half time, you win 3-2. So I know they can do it, 100%. Do you think they will do it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, there's so many times throughout this season and last season where we were just so inconsistent, so heavily reliant on a bit of individual brilliance. And for me, it shouldn't really be like that. I mean, the results, you know, going back to what happened on Sunday, I really don't think any of us thought that would have happened, let alone the result. The performance from the players was absolutely diabolical. Every single one of them should have had a good look in the mirror after the game. And, you know, I think Ollie probably through in the back of his mind would have been questioning the players' desire for this club. You know, are they actually playing for the badge or are they playing for their money? That seems to be the theme over social media, and a lot of what the pundits are saying are pointing the finger towards one specific person in the dressing room. But I don't know, you know, I just think you've got to give Ollie time. We've seen what these lads can do when he came in. And since then, is it the fact that the fatigue is catching up with them as the Champions League caught up with them because the squad, we know the quality is not there in the squad? It's a mixture of things for me. But, I mean, these boys tonight, it wouldn't surprise us if they went out and won the game, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me in the thing.
I think they will. Hi, Mark. Today in Australia is Anzac Day. Today we look back at the soldiers who gave their lives in World War One, lest we forget. What a lovely message. And yes, yeah, lovely message. And yeah, never forget, you know, because whether it's the World War One, World War Two, it's they provide us the platform to be doing things like this today. We have the freedom and everything because of people like that. So yeah, lest we forget. Young is rubbish, but he at least tries, says Rogue Apple. You see, for me, that's not. I don't like that comment anymore. I'm bored of it. That's not a Manchester United motto. He's rubbish, but he tries. It doesn't say that on the shirt. Me and Marcus will try. You'll try. I'm bothered. Yeah. I'm not bothered. I will try my heart out. You know, I literally will need a defibrillator, as I've said before. But it's not that's bollocks. I'm past all that. I hate all that. You're Youngie. Fuck off, Youngie. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about effort anymore because effort's not going to win you 38 games. It might win us tonight. I think tonight, you know, as a one-off, where the players suddenly decide they're going to give a shit and they try, I think it will work tonight. But as I said, Marcus, there's a part of me that will still be angry even if we win. I mean, Jesus Escobar says, ideally we win today and Liverpool lose versus Wolves. Look, we've got to take care of our own business, and I want us to win. But if we do win, I'll still be annoyed because I'll be like, you know, that just shows what these players can do when they try. Because for me, Man City are the best team in the league. And if we beat them, it shows you that we can beat anybody. But it will just annoy me even more because I'll think, well, there you are, look, you get a bollocking, everybody's watching and you suddenly turn up. But why aren't you doing that at Everton? Why aren't you doing that at Wolves? You know, why are you bottling it when it's a tougher game? But when all the lights and all the TV cameras and everyone's looking at you, you all bloody turn up again.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, there's a lot of talk about these players. You know, they play on the big stage and they want to put themselves in the shop window this summer because they're not interested in what Ollie's beliefs are, or you know how he wants to mould the club in his way. Yeah. So you would think that the big players tonight, the De Gea's, the Pogbas, if Martial gets on, you know, the Rashfords, I mean, Rashford and Lingard, this game should mean absolutely everything to them. You know, they're local lads. They know the club inside out. And, you know, Rashford's got a habit of scoring against Man City as well. But you just look at the efforts and the desires of some of these players. I'm just watching them kick a ball about here at the minute. Do you know what? It just, a lot of them are just standing still, just passing the ball. There's not really much movement. I know it's before the game. They don't want to get injured or anything, but, you know, I question the mentality of some of them. And if they're not good enough, like you said, Mark, cash in on them in the summer, start again.
What's your score prediction for today?
I think, you know, there's a danger. These games get built up so much and they tend to just end up being boring 0-0s. Because, you know, a bit like a game of chess, don't they? They cancel each other out. But there's so much on the line for both teams tonight. I think this is going to be a good open game, similar to the Champions League game that City had with Spurs. And I think there'll only be one goal in it for the winner. So I'm going to go 3-2 United. Yeah,
you know what? I think nobody's spoken about that. I think we're all lost in this emotion of if we lose, Liverpool won't win in the league. If we do win, Liverpool will win the league. And I think, you know, a lot of United fans want to win because we want to look after our own thing, and I think that's great. But I don't think anyone's talked about the ramifications of the game. I think, look, we're crap defensively. Man City, if you get at them, aren't great defensively. So actually, in isolation, it could be a really, really good game. Philip Burtonwood says, have you heard the latest Darren Fletcher to assist Phelan in the director role? I have, Philip. Again, Fletchy. You know, is there anyone else we can get who we can add a Y on the end? Because it's the old boys club. I mean, what's Darren Fletcher done to I mean, right, let me just tell you the news. So Mike Phelan is linked to being the director of football for Manchester United. And then today, they're talking about getting Darren Fletcher in, former United midfielder, to work alongside him as part of the recruitment of bringing players to United. And I'm just like... And the reason they want to do this is because they want to bring in players who are coming towards the end of their career, who used to play for United and know how United work. Fine, right? But why is that the way to recruit the best players in the world? I'm baffled by this. What experience has Darren Fletcher had in the last 6 or 7 years of playing European football? He's been playing for Stoke and West Brom. Like... I do not get it. And Mike Phelan, again, he's an assistant manager. I don't think he's got a great CV of being a recruiter of talent from around Europe. So, again, I think it's jobs for the boys. Oh, they've played at the club. This is not how you run a proper football club. I hope it works, but this is something Liverpool used to do fucking 40 years ago, the boot room. And football's changed. Like, football's global now. There are people out there who are well qualified, who know the world of football and the youth and everything in the world of football like the back of their hand. And they've never played for Manchester United, but they're well qualified for the job. That, for me, is my thoughts on it. Mark, thoughts on Matic as a ball-playing centre-back, says Kamal Ibel. He can go and be a ball-playing centre-back for Stoke. I don't want him anywhere near the United lineup. Karsh says, hey Mark, what do you think about Gary Neville telling fans not to pick on Young right now because he puts in effort playing out of position? I'm not interested in that. I'm bored of effort. Laith Al Azwari says, imagine we let City win, rest in peace to Liverpool fans afterwards, and then City bottle one of their final games and Liverpool win the league. Well, that could happen. And Jared Pesserman, hello Jared, can't wait to hear you next year on the Emmerdale Cup games. In the end, I hate Liverpool so much, title is worst case, we need a rebuild, I want a City win. Well, we've already decided, Marcus, that we're not doing watch-alongs for the Emmerdale Cup, aren't we? We've already said that. We're not doing any watch-alongs for the Emmerdale Cup next season.
I'll tell you what, it's I mean, if we're in that competition again next year, we saw the pain it put us through when we won the competition. You know, it's a horrendous competition to be in. It's almost like it's what can you say? It's almost like it's a fucking it's just a really, really bad competition going away to these countries that are -5 and -6, and I feel sorry for the travelling fans that have to go and watch it. You know, I feel sorry for Flex going out there and stuff. So
Volvograd and places like that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's just terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. I mean, you don't really get. There's not really much point to it. You know, it's the BTEC Champions League, and that is all it is. It's an inconsistency to your Premier League season. So, I would just, if we are in it, I would just chuck the young lads in it. I really would, and just get out there as soon as possible and just concentrate on the domestic cups and the Premier League.
I mean, the problem with it is that it will, Ollie will not play the youth. I mean, some people are saying, why hasn't he played the youth tonight, which I think is worth talking about in a moment. But he won't play the youth in that game, in the Europa League, because he'll try and win the Europa League. And what we'll actually see is, and this is what terrifies me about next season in the Emmerdale Cup more than anything, is we're just going to see an exact copy of Mourinho's season in the Europa League, where we take it seriously. We try to get top four. You hit April. You have a major injury crisis because the squad's not good enough, and you're limping over the line trying to get in the Champions League again. But I agree with you. I wouldn't give a shit about the Europa League. I would focus on the top four, and I would use the youth. I mean, just quickly on that, let me just read these super chats, and then I'll ask you. The formation shows Ollie has no philosophy and is clueless, as Biggie Third. I would like him to stick to his philosophy instead of keep changing the formation. I mean, why we're playing a back five at Old Trafford? I've got to be consistent and say that if this was Mourinho, people would be going mad. Henry Ellis says, going to be a very hard game. Our only goals since the 2nd of April have been 2 penalties. That's a good point. Not thought of it like that, Henry. And Kugochu Patrick Osui says, Mike Phelan is the director of football of the Mariners, who are struggling and gave Usain Bolt a failed trial. It's crazy where we are at the moment, Ed. Yeah, mate, I'd not even thought of it like that. But... yeah, what was going to ask you, Marcus? I forgot. Was it about the youth?
About the youth?
Yeah, no, so Mason Greenwood's just setting the world on fire, basically. I think if he was at Man City, they would have given him a bit of game time by now, and Liverpool. Ollie talks about the youth. The front six have been absolutely terrible. Do you think today was the day to at least have him on the bench?
Do you know what? I would have dropped Lingard, to be honest, and I would have played Greenwood. I really would have. I think spring a surprise, because Pep would never have expected it. You chuck a youngster in there who's, like you just said, setting the world on fire, banging in goals for fun, and it also gives a kick up the arse to the players that are in the first team as well, the likes of Lukaku's, the Martials, the Rashfords. Try him. He is the one that stands out from the youth setup. So yeah, I would have gone for him. I really do think he would have been much more effective than an out of form Jesse Lingard in there. But I can understand why Ollie hasn't put him in, because there is so much on the line. There is so much at stake in this one game. This one game here is a make or break season, not just for us, but in terms of the teams, the two teams competing for the title as well. So, it's a 50-50, but me, if I was in charge, I would have chucked him in. I really would have.
I mean, I'm going to be consistent again and say that I said in my preview that a lot of people were saying play the youth, and I said no. Why should they get thrown in to this mess? It's not, you play Chong, you play Gomez, you play Greenwood, and this is somebody else's mess. They don't deserve to be thrown into it. But what I would say is I would have had a spot on the bench for him. I would have said Greenwood on the bench, last 20 minutes, maybe chuck him on. I can't understand why he's not on the bench. But just to quickly say as well, because a few people are asking who is on the bench. The team is the team on the right of my screen. It might not be a 3-5-2. Some people are saying it's a 4-3-3 with Young on the wing. We'll see. But the bench is Romero, Dalot, Mata, Matic, Alexis Sanchez, Lukaku and Martial. To me, that ain't a bench to be scared of if you're Man City. I mean, Martial on his day is very good, but Lukaku, Sanchez, Matic, Mata and Dalot. I mean, Dalot's a defender, but Mata, Matic, Alexis and Lukaku. I mean, they ain't game changers for me.
No, they're not. I mean, you look at Lukaku's record against the top six, his goal-scoring record, it speaks for itself. Yeah. I think it's 1 or 2 goals in like 15 or 16 games. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think Lukaku will carry any threat whatsoever if he comes on. Alexis Sanchez has not been very good. I mean, it's the word that you don't like, the effort that he brings. He doesn't carry any attacking threat for me whatsoever. But... yeah, I mean, Martial is probably the only one that you could say could come on there and maybe create something or, pop up and nick a goal. But even then, Martial's out of form at the minute as well, just as bad as Rashford and Lingard are. Which then, will take me back to why not put Greenwood in that starting 11? These players, after the performance Sunday, there's got to be a consequence for them. Somehow, somewhere, some way, Ollie has got to show them that performance is not fucking good enough. And if you ain't going to do it, then I'm going to bring in a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid from the reserves to take your place. And hopefully it might give them a bit more of incentive or give them the kick up the backside that they need.
Yeah. Zach Richards says, look at City's bench compared to ours. It's depressing. Well, they do have Sane, Jesus, and a couple of others on there. But look, that's because Pep's been allowed to, spend money and he's built a squad. You know what? Glenn Light says that Martial's been crap lately. Let me just read these super chats before we do that. Nick P says, I hope we get smashed. Only hardship will force change. Cantona summed it up well today, albeit in his own mental way. It's a must watch. Is that the one where he smashes an egg with his cock? And I thought it was just weird, so I don't know what the message was. That was a super chat here from, if Greenwood was the real deal, he'd be playing, says Meb3. I disagree with you, mate. I mean, what he's doing, I know it's only youth football or reserve team football, but he should be getting chances. His record, if he was the real deal, he'd be fine. He's absolutely amazing. I can't believe Man City are running around training in that throw-up mishmash shit.
It's
absolutely vile. Hopefully that's a sign that they're going to lose. Andrew Rossi says the only reason Greenwood would get action at City is because they aren't worried about top four. I think Ollie will give him a good look in the pre-season. Yeah, you're probably a good point there, Andrew Rossi. But just thinking about the players who got dropped for United, I think Ollie's probably got it about right if you think about it. Matic, yes, definitely should have been dropped. Martial, yeah, I agree with that. I don't think Fred or Pogba deserved to be dropped. I thought that Fred was subbed at half time, but I thought he did well. And Pogba did try, obviously not to the levels. I don't agree with Dello being dropped, actually. I think he's a 19-year-old lad who's been, he's still learning the game and he's played in some big games for us. And to see Ashley Young starting and him not starting is wrong. But that's probably the only one. I would have dropped Rashford, to be fair, Marcus, but it's like Lukaku needed to be dropped as well. So who do you play instead of Rashford when you've got to drop Martial and Lukaku anyway? Sanchez never plays up front. He's a left winger. So
yeah, this is it. You look at, we all know the people that should be dropped, but you look at what's available to him and what can you do? Your main number nines are Rashford or Lukaku. Which one's got the better record? Which one gives more to the team? Which one gives more options in the play? For me, it's got to be Rashford.
Yeah.
You look at even in the midfield. I mean, the one that's missing for me, the standout one, is Herrera, but don't know what's going on with him, whether it's injury or whether it's the contract. And like you say, Dello. I mean, obviously Young comes in because he's the club captain and he's Ollie's boy. But in terms of ability, I think you've got to look forward in these sort of games. You've got to see whether these young lads are up to the task. He came in last summer. He's not really had that many opportunities for me for a new signing, so I'd have put him in. But again, it's the captaincy, isn't it? Ashley Young's got to wear the armband, so he automatically starts.
T. Ballard says Pereira should take free kicks over Rashi. Yeah, I agree. And we're playing two players, Darmian and Young, because we don't have a good right back. In the process, we become one short in attack. I think that's a great point from Sankadeep 5, because some people are saying Ashley Young's playing as a winger. I don't think that's going to happen. And he hasn't played as a winger in about 4 or 5 years. So why would you play him as a winger? And also, he's not going to be playing as a winger. He's going to be defensive. We're playing 5 defenders at home, at the reality. Liverpool fans want United to win. United fans want City to win. And City want fans. You bastard. You've just made me choke on that, Barnes. That's a good one. And Nick P says, the egg represents us. The massive member represents Pep metaphorically smashing us. Fair enough, Cantona is mentally ill. Okay, so that's what it meant. So we're 8 minutes away from kickoff, which is great. I just want to get this game on at the end of the day. Marcus has gone 3-2 United. I've gone 2-1. I tell you what, if City don't get drawn into the fact that it's a derby and just play to their ability, which they're capable of, they could beat us 3 or 4-0. But I think because United have to respond to Everton, the terrible Everton result, I think because of that and because we are, it is a derby and because it is at Old Trafford, I do think it will have an impact. So I am going to stick with the United win. But I wouldn't, I don't think we're going to be surprised, Marcus, if it suddenly, if we do get absolutely hammered.
No, I think any way you look at it, whether it's a 6-1 or, whether it's a high-scoring game like that, if we lose, if we win, if we absolutely turn up and put in the performance that's, that us fans warrant and need to see from these players, nothing would surprise me in this sort of game. And the best thing for me is that, for me in the derby games, form goes out the window. And by Christ, do United need that tonight? Because our form, I think we've won 6 of the last 8 in all competitions. Our form is absolutely terrible. And when you look at what City's been doing, I think they're 10 for 10. So, thankfully, hopefully, the form does go out the window tonight, and United treat this as the game of the season. They've got to treat this as though it's a European Cup final or something, because it's shit or bust tonight.
It is interesting because I think a lot of people were like, oh, you know what? A couple of months ago, people were sort of like saying, well, United will... sorry, not United. City or Liverpool will lose points at some point. And I mean, they literally have both pretty much won every single game.
Yeah.
And I think that's why tonight, for me, is 100% all about if City lose points today, whether it's a draw, and I don't want a draw. I think a draw is the worst result of the lot. But if they win, if City win, I think they'll go and win the league. If they lose or draw, I think Liverpool will win the league because I think they've been that consistent. Daniel Ludden says, do you think player contracts may be affecting who Ollie picks? I don't, actually, because Darmian's going in the summer and yet he plays tonight. Delo will be here next year and he doesn't. So no, I don't think it does. I think that nobody's mentioned about McTominay. And we do need to keep an eye on the Wolves result. I mean, Wolves beating Arsenal, or at least getting a draw, I think is massively important tonight. Even if we beat City, we need that to happen. But I presume McTominay must be injured because I'd heard he was going to actually start in this game. So, I've not heard anything about Scott McTominay. So I presume he must be injured.
No, I've not heard anything either. But at the minute, the Wolves and Arsenal game is 0-0. So, but yeah, I think there's so much at stake in this one game. It very, very rarely is there so much on the line for this one game for a top of the table clash. In terms of Liverpool going for it, City are going for it. If they win all their games, 1 point is going to separate them. At the end of the season. But going back to that contract comment, I don't think it plays a part in who he picks, but it's certainly playing a part in certain players' concentration levels. Yeah. De Gea has not been at the races at all for the last couple of months. I think Pogba, ever since that last international break, when he was talking about Zidane going back to Madrid, he's been out of form. So, interesting that Darmian started tonight for me. Could have gone with Rojo as a left-sided centre-back. Darmian, last time he played was it January, February time? I think.
Yeah, personally, I think he probably should have been playing a little bit more. But it's really surprised me that you throw him into a game like this when you've been ignoring him for other games. But look, players are about to come out, and I've got to say I'm very excited. I think as a spectacle, as a 90-minute game at Old Trafford, Manchester United. Most of us are Manchester United fans, and the point remains that this is Man City. Thankfully, not able to do the quadruple. Well done to Spurs for stopping that, because that would have been horrible on the 20th anniversary of us doing the treble. So it's a test. You know what? Nothing's going to surprise me from today. If we got hammered 7-0, it wouldn't surprise me. If we win, it won't surprise me. If we draw, it'll be bloody typical. So nothing's going to surprise me. I'm looking forward to the game. And the reason I'm looking forward to the game is, Man City are only going to play one way. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. Look, the result we'll have to deal with at full time, whether it's the result that we want or not. People are going to have different opinions, aren't they? But make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and get involved with the United Stand. We have got fan cams and we are staying live all the way through, and we've got match reactions as well. Get your score predictions in the video, in the live comments. I'm going 2-1. Marcus is going 3-2. It looks like from Sky that they're saying that we're playing a 3-5-2, which is just a load of shit. We're not playing a 3-5-2. We're going to play a 5-3-2. But it looks like it's Darmian swapping with Young on the graphic we've got there as a right-sided centre-back with Young and Shaw as the wing-backs. But
see, that's a good move for me, because I think that last game Darmian played, he was at centre-back.
Yeah, and he played well.
So he did play well. Yeah, he did play well. So that's a good vote of confidence there by Ollie. But yeah, it will probably be 5-3-2 without the possession, and then with the ball, we'll end up changing to the 3-5-2.
A few people asking about the hoodie. You can get the hoodie through the link in the video description. We have got United Stand merch now, so you can get hold of the hoodie, the United Stand tops. That's it, a link in the video description. And Upbeat Sarcastic says, players hugging in the tunnel. Can you imagine Roy Keane having a little cuddle before a derby? Mate, it's the modern day. All I can be is be a bit of a dinosaur, be a bit of Jurassic Park if you've got the emojis there, and say, look, you've just been smashed by Everton. You should not be hugging players of the opposition in the lineup, in the tunnel. You know what? Man City players probably expect us to hug them. Imagine if we didn't hug them. It'd get in their heads. They think, oh, bloody hell. I know him from international duty and he's not hugging me. It might make him think. We need Chucky Lozano. Keep doing what you're doing, man, says Ricardo Heraldez. Thanks, pal. Remember, if you want to join the United Stand Members Club, click the join button. You get a little badge next to your name, but also you get access to the emojis. I'm sure people will start using them and show you what emojis we've got. Let's hope we're not going to see Jurassic Park. That's defending. Let's hope. Well, there it is. Roman's just used it. We've got Ollie's at the wheel. We've got the lube. We need a bit of lube tonight. Let's see what's going to happen. But...
yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game, no doubt about it. Hopefully both teams go for it because, like I said earlier, there is a lot at stake here for both teams and obviously for Liverpool as well.
Liverpool, I tell you what, I don't really have a lot, Liverpool fans, if you're watching, fair play. It is what it is. I'm not going to wish anything because... it is in our hands, whether you like it or not. But it must be horrible for Liverpool fans because they've got no control on this at all.
No.
And it must be horrible. But, I don't care because there's no love lost between Liverpool and Manchester United. But, as I've said before, I think Liverpool are going to win the league. I've said that for about 5 months now. I think Liverpool are going to win the league. And whether that's reverse psychology or not, and whether City win tonight or not, I still think Liverpool are going to win the league. No, I don't, actually. I think if Man City win tonight, they'll go on and win the league. But I don't think City will win. I think Liverpool are going to win the league. And some people confuse that as me being a Liverpool fan and wanting them to win. I bloody well don't. I just think that they will win the league. Anyway, time is up and running. We are up and running. It's City on the ball. Let's see how United start. We never cook the crowd. Welcome to David Kerr, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. It will flash up on the screen if you become a member, by the way, so I will shout you out. But United trying to press high up the pitch here, but look at Ederson just passes it past Lingard in his own box to find, I think it was Fernandinho. They're just not bothered, Man City. The way they pass the ball, they'll receive the ball with 4 United players around them, and I think... but this is the thing, Marcus. I think they're trying to do it, aren't they? It's about trying to just start off and get hold of the ball and get the crowd up, because if we can do that, it cooks the crowd up a little bit.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that Man City are going to have the lion's share of the possession tonight, but for United, it's all about them concentration levels, making sure you're in position without the ball, not allowing City too much space on the front foot. I mean, Sterling's just miscontrolled it there.
I mean, what I do like about that midfield, we haven't really spoken about it a lot. I do like the mobility of Pereira, Fred and Pogba. I mean, whatever you think about Scott McTominay, and he's done okay for us, he ain't quick. And obviously Matic is, he's basically a corpse. So, I like the fact that we've got Pereira, Fred and Pogba in there because Man City are mobile. So I like that. I do like that.
Yeah, I think Pereira coming in there, I think that gives us a little bit more of an edge with his pace in there, his tenacity in there. He loves a good tackle as well, but United on the attack, slip ball, good.
We've missed Luke Shaw. You see that straight away. He wants to get it out of his feet and push forward, and he's got... I think people don't realise about Luke Shaw is he's very, very fast. Pram Nav Kandawali says, unbalanced defence, highly doubtful of any result. I mean, I'm just trying to grab the defence, and it definitely is. Look, there it is. It's a back five. It's a back five. People trying to pretend it's a 3-5-2. It's five. It's a back five. And I have to say this. If this was Mourinho, people would be going mad. We are playing a back five, and I think people need to accept that. And whether, to be honest, maybe that's what we should be doing, Marcus, because City are that good. But they do only play one up front. So you've got 3 centre-backs to deal with Aguero. Or you've got 5 players dealing with 3 City forwards. To me, it's overkill. But
it is a bit. It is a very negative way to play, especially at home. But, I mean, you're seeing there straight away, as soon as you get the ball. I think it was Darmian knocking it long.
5 at the back and long ball then.
Yeah, it's... City have got City centre backs not really under any pressure at the moment from United. United not really had any of the ball, but City are quite comfortable playing the possession game, and it's up to United now to just get it off them and hit them quickly on the counter attack. I just want to try and get a few minutes possession, string some passes together, get into the game. But straight away, Ashley Young's lost it there to the left back, Kinchenko, or whatever his name is.
I tell you what, I'm not one for stats anyway, but I think City's stats could be massive. I mean, what we don't want to do is concede an early goal, because I think that will, the way we're set up, it will destroy what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley Young, late tackle. Yeah.
I thought he got a
free
bit
kick
of the ball,
United.
to be honest. Company's the weak point, says Dan Thomas, and United should cash in on Pogba this summer, says El Giro Odumana, which I actually agreed with earlier on. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later in the game. But yeah, a lot of long balls being thrown up. Rashford's trying to get something there.
Well, you know what? I've got to say, that's a good shout for a free kick there. I think Company was all over him. He lost him. Rashford obviously outpacing Company and went down. Should have got a free kick for me. That way. I mean, he's just give that one there for Carl Walker. So
it's an intriguing start to the game. Anyway, I mean,
yeah.
You know what? I think you're right. I think Company's lost Rashford, and
yeah.
It should have been a free kick. It's not like he had to send him off. I think Laporte was probably going to get the ball. But this is where Pogba can have a big impact on this game for me, because he's by far the biggest player in that midfield six. And I think this is why Pogba tends to play well against City, because physically he's a lot bigger than Gundogan and Fernandinho and the other guy, David Silva.
Yeah.
De Bruyne's quite big, but he ain't playing. So Pogba's got to grab this game, because it's not often that Pogba gets the opportunity to be the dominant force. So,
but I think it's absolutely massive for United tonight that De Bruyne's not playing. I think if De Bruyne was playing for City, I'd be a little bit more worried. But
I mean, it's a massive loss for them, isn't he?
Yeah.
Love the channel, love from Scotland, says Callum Sharef's Ake, glory to Aberdeen. Look, what I don't want the result to be today is a draw. I cannot deal with a draw. I think it would be horrible. But the way you could let's hope it's not a 0-0, Marcus. God no.
I
think Ollie would be absolutely ecstatic with that. Oh, I've kept a clean sheet and we've stopped City, but we need to win. We need to win.
Both teams have got to go for it. There's no way that this game can end 0-0. Not a chance, because it doesn't do any team any favours, apart from Liverpool. So
that'll be a foul.
Yeah. Here we go. Go on, Pereira.
Yeah, we need to get up for it a bit. Again, I must admit, look, I like the fact that the players are fighting in that, but in Pereira's case, it's fine because he hasn't been playing. But the other lot, they should have been doing this every bloody week. It just winds me up. Why don't I want City to win, said Race? Because I'm a United fan. I find it weird to want us to lose. I think we're good at doing that without me wanting it to happen anyway. So, but no, I do actually think if we beat Man City and Chelsea, we'll get top four. So
again, there, foul on Sterling by Darmian. Company's one just now was worse than that on Rashford. I think this is what Ollie was talking about. The technical foul aspect of the game.
Yeah, and Pep didn't like that. I mean, just to clarify that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was talking about the fouls that Man City give up in the first phase of the play. So if you win the ball in your own half, they'll foul you there rather than letting you get momentum. But this has always been the case with Pep. At Bayern, at Barcelona especially, he's always done it. So cross comes in, Smalling gets up. But Pep reacted badly to it because he hit a nerve. Ollie hit a nerve. He knows it's true. We all know it's true. City have always been like that, and Pep's always been like that, So it'd be interesting to see if the referee gets a grasp of that. That's going to be a goal kick to United anyway.
United did well there in that phase of play, pushed out really, really quickly.
The challenge for City is going to be whether they can break United down, because we are playing 5 defenders, and they've only got 3 up front. So it really is. Like I say, we're almost begging for a clean sheet, because I think if City score, you can't continue to play 5 at the back.
No, you can't. You got to go for it, and I think they got to go for it from the off anyway. It's no good trying to play out for a clean sheet or trying to play for a 0-0.
Tell you what, it'd be good if we get an early goal, because it gives us something to cling on to. Tyson Marley says Arteta flatly tells the players to foul in the documentary. No, Ollie was spot on, and Pep's reacted to it because he doesn't want the referee to be giving fouls against his team. That's what he's done.
Great turn by Pogba there on Gundogan. but the end product of the pass wasn't there. But Lingard's not really been involved in the opening exchanges.
Well, he's basically playing up front, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's playing alongside Rashford, isn't he? Right up there. Definitely playing the front two. I did see a couple of people in the comments say maybe a 5-4-1, but Lingard.
Well, this is City's problem. They're trying to
on.
pass out from the penalty box there, and we've ended up with a throw-in quite far up. But
Yeah.
you've got to use these moments when they make a mistake, and you've got a chance in the third phase.
So Lingard, Fred,
Ooh, little
Rashford,
nearly worked.
Nearly pulled it off, but
City not really got their rhythm going at the moment, which is good for us.
no, I think United probably, obviously Aguero's a danger, but I think the actual out and out threat is Sterling down this left hand side up against Darmian.
Well, it's Young, isn't it? I suppose Young's the right wing back.
Well, yeah, young Darmian, yeah.
Well, which is why we've doubled up, really, haven't we?
Oh, look, he's been blocked off again there. Come on, surely that's a yellow. That's a blatant block.
He's booked
That's
in, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
See, I don't like that, though.
First one.
I've got to be honest. In a derby, I don't like an early yellow card. And it is a yellow card. He does block him off, but I think it sets a bad precedence in a game that's going to be... It was a stupid yellow card to pick up anyway, because it wasn't like he was winning through. But this could be big. This sort of could be big, because the company's done 2 fouls in the first 10 minutes. If they go down to 10 men... Bye-bye title, I think. So, interesting that City are on a yellow card. Has the referee given a yellow card a bit too early? My only concern with that is United like a tackle. So, he's going to have to book somebody every time there's a bad tackle now, which I think can take away a little bit in a derby. But in a normal game, that's a yellow card, so you can't knock it.
Definitely. But
City look like their arse is about to give in, says Tyson Marley. They haven't started off well, City, and I think they're probably struggling with a team that's parking the bus against them, really.
Yeah, I think it was pretty obvious that game they had Champions League against Spurs. Spurs showed that they can be got at quite early. If you start on the front foot and play fast, they can be got at. And United just finding their rhythm now a bit.
Yeah, have a shot, Young.
Actually, no, crap.
Oh, I'll tell you what, United need to push it here because we're getting a bit of joy. City have not started off very well, and United are camped on the City box at the moment. Here's Pogba. He will hit it from there.
Yeah, I've cracked.
Well held by Ederson, that was, because he bounced it in front of him.
Mm.
A few people saying part of the bus, but United, to be honest, are doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah,
City look a bit... they're trying this pass out from the back thing, and I think the way United have set up, they're depriving them of space, so...
United certainly... I mean, Smalling's just got in there. See,
that's what I mean. Smalling needs to be careful, because if he picks up a yellow card, it
I think United have started okay. They're coming into the game slowly, but Pereira has been quite decent so far.
And City are giving the ball away quite a lot for throw-ins and goal kicks, and
Kyle
Walker's just done one there. So this is an encouraging start from United, and Pep doesn't look very happy with it.
Yeah, already Pep's out on the technical box, shouting and giving the orders.
I tell you what, I hope we don't stick with this formation for 90 minutes, because I think if we can commit another forward, we've got opportunities in this game.
Ashley Young, uncharted territory. Yeah, there we go. Throw into United.
Willie Nabal says that I rate Pereira. I think what I like about that midfield, Willie, is the mobility in there. I mean, imagine if you've got Matic in there or even McTominay. They're not the quickest across the ground, and City do move the ball quick, and they've got these little quick thinking technical players who can give and go, and it's like when Fellaini used to play against them. It's not useful. Got an overlap here with not an overlap, but Luke Shaw needs a bit of support.
Great ball by Fred out to Luke Shaw then. Pogba's picking it up. Look at that ball over the top. Too long. Right idea, because Pereira was running.
Yeah, it's looking good, Daniel Whittle. I agree. United have started off well. Got hold of the ball a bit as well. I think that fear that Man City were just going to dominate the ball. I think the way United are set up, I mean, it's not how you don't want to be set up like this for the next 3 years under Ollie. It is quite negative, but good play by Bernardo Silva there. Nutmegged Aguero, and they've moved it over to Sterling up against Young.
It's be interesting. Only one to put his foot in there was Pereira, Ashley Young was quite happy to stand off and let him take him on.
Yeah, we've got it away though.
So that's the simple things that Rashford does there that Lukaku doesn't. Just get the ball, hold it up for a couple of seconds, play a basic pass back, and then carry on.
City are such a good movers of the ball though. I mean, this is we're going to have this. They are, they play their way. They've been playing their way for 2 years. So if they get into their groove, it's obviously going to be a better system than our system, which is yet again just thrown up
off again
upon us. But I mean, look at how many players we've got back. They shouldn't be carving their way through. Neves just scored a wicked free kick for Wolves. That's good. That's good. Wolves are winning 1-0. That's what we need. That's what I mean. You know what? If we win tonight and Arsenal don't win in Wolves, we beat Chelsea at the weekend, we'll get top 4, and this is what I'm on about. I know people don't want Liverpool to win the league, but do you not want Liverpool to win the league so much that you'll have a year in the Emmerdale? Because I don't want it.
This is the worry here, Sterling up against Darmian.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, Jesus.
Luckily, he didn't have the pace. Sterling's shot wasn't that good. Smalling sticks his foot out, and it's going towards the goal, but it just doesn't have the pace, and De Gea jumps on it, but it was close. And Sterling, De Gea's always going to get that, but
I think Smalling just felt his guts drop to the floor then, I think, for a couple of seconds. Yeah. But here come United again. Pereira's seen a lot of the ball in this first, 15 minutes? Ashley Young gone past Kuchenko, ball in. Oh, nearly come to Lingard on the edge then. Come on, Fred. Have a look at the left foot. Fred with a shot.
He's had a shot. It's wide. Edison's got it covered, but you know what? Have a go.
I mean, Fred's got a decent left foot on him as well. Yeah.
Sean Kelly says, I can't watch this. What's the start been like, Mark? I'm a Liverpool fan. Well, I'm not. You know what? I could absolutely bullshit you as a Liverpool fan and really make your arse start going like that. But I'll be honest and say, I think United are going to get a result tonight. And actually, it's a very equal game so far.
All over the top.
Lingard! Oh, I tell you what, that would have been... it would have been a B-Tech version, but it would almost have been that Rooney long ball onto Van Persie against Villa. It's not. It's half the length, but Pogba puts it on Lingard's foot, and I think he tries to place it. And really, I think he should just put his foot through it. It would have been. It was a good effort. It was a good effort.
It's got the height and the dip on it.
Yeah, he's not far off. It was a lovely ball by Pogba, though. Absolutely fantastic, as Kwesi says, and that's probably the best chance of the game. And you can't expect that to be a goal, but it was brilliant by Pogba. And it's an equal game, and Liverpool fans will be very much encouraged at the moment. I think the first goal is massively important in this. I think if City score first, obviously United heads will drop. If United get a goal and have got something to hold on to, I think City's bum will start to go a little bit. But tell you what, that was a good chance for Lingard. Yeah. What a ball by Pogba. Lingard running off the shoulder and just hits it wide. But we've had 4 attempts to their 1. According to Sky, so good start.
I mean, City's passing in the final third has not been great at all. Aguero and I think it's Bernardo Silva that's up there, just not picking the passes out to each other at all.
If City want to win the league, you're going to have to win this game. But I bet Pep on Sunday was like, when United got beat 4-0, he was probably, oh God. Because I think if United had won that game, they would have come into this game totally different mentality. But you get beat 4-0, you get absolutely hammered by your fans and the media. They're always going to respond, aren't they? And Pep was probably like, oh God, I can't be doing that.
Yeah, for Man City, it's probably the worst thing that could have happened. But for United, it's all about the reaction there. And so far, they have stood the test. It's like you said, it's pretty even. I mean, we've created the more chances. I think when we go forward, we're looking the more threatening. I mean, Aguero's not really been in the game at the moment. Sterling's getting a bit of joy down our right-hand side against Young and Darmian, but Perez just give it away there. Fred, great interception again.
I know a lot of United fans get a bit moody about Martial not playing and stuff, but one of the amazing things, and it just shows you how good Bernardo Silva's been, is like I really, I know he plays for City, but I really do rate Leroy Sané. Hold on a minute. City coming up against
Lindelof
our
played
back foot.
Fred into trouble there.
Oh, what a save by De Gea. That was the
De Gea,
chance of the game. I think it was it David Silva or was it Bernardo Silva? He hit it. It was probably
David
straight
Silva.
at him. But Lingard's now on the break.
United.
You've got to look for that pass. It's a lovely pass.
Rashford.
Whoa, Ederson there.
What a save by Ederson.
Fucking hell, if he gets that wrong, that's a penalty. Lingard slips Rashford through. The weight of the pass is brilliant. Ederson, if he misses that, Rashford's through on one on wall.
Rashford went fucking flying.
Yeah, fully committed by Rashford. Lovely ball by Lingard. Slide rule pass, and Ederson gets there. But, I mean, this is a direct break from City's chance. So it shows what United... I mean, he's probably just a little bit offside, actually.
I think, he's just offside, but the linesman
wouldn't have given it, and there's no VAR, so this would have been a goal. Lingard, Rashford makes the run perfectly. The weight of the pass is perfect, and Ederson... I don't know whether Rashford should do a little bit better there when you get there, but this is the shot. I think it's David Silva who... No, it's not David Silva, is it? It's straight at the keeper, really, that shot for City. But it's Bernardo Silva who hits it straight at De Gea. Don't judge, hate me, says it was offside. Well, maybe it was offside, but it wasn't going to get given, so...
No, that referee was no way keeping up with Rashford. The linesman, sorry.
I think maybe Lingard should have took the shot, says Speed. He maybe could have angled the pass a little bit better, to be honest, and maybe Rashford could have thought about chipping it, but, you know, cum si cum sa. It was a good chance. And it's indicative of the game so far. I think it's the opportunity is there, isn't it? It's there for United to win.
That's what they're going to have to rely on tonight. Quick counter-attacking, exactly like that. Which... could play into our hands in the second half if Martial comes on.
Well, the way it's going at the moment, I think it's going to be a tight game, especially if United can get the first goal. I mean, United are basically... I mean, look, let's be honest. I mean, it's working, isn't it? So you can't knock it. But we're basically sitting back and then trying to hit them on the break. Yeah,
and to be honest, I think that's always... what I expected the game plan to be anyway. I think if you match them up man for man, obviously City are better than us. No question about it. They got the better players in their team, but United have got to control that ball in the midfield and break quickly, very quickly. And I think that's probably why Lingard has got his place in the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Lingard's a better player centrally than he is out on the wing.
I think if you play a front three, I think, you know, in terms of the personnel we got, it's got to be Lingard, Rashford, Martial.
Yeah.
But,
at the moment, until we buy somebody else.
Yeah. I think you play formations like this, play Lingard, you know, maybe in behind Rashford or, you know, at the top of what would you call it, like a 5-3-1-1 or something for, you know. But City just trying to...
Well, City's passing has been quite poor.
Oh, come on. Rashford's taking a beating tonight. He really is taking a beating, that lad. But, you know, that's what you got to expect in these sort of games.
Oh, bollocks. I probably just wrecked my mic there. Sorry, everybody. Let me just check. Give it the old people's elbow. It might have messed it up.
But yeah, I've been very impressed with Pereira so far in the opening 22 minutes.
Yeah, it's that mobility. It's that mobility. Yeah. It really does help.
Him and Fred really getting stuck in there. And Pereira, I mean, look at him. Look, he's the furthest forward there, chasing that. Something he gives you that McTominay wouldn't.
Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. Wolves are 2-0 up. I mean, this is the thing.
I think that's good night, Arsenal.
Well,
Pereira again.
I would have took a draw.
Rashford. Going to go for it. Hit.
It's a good hit by Rashford. It will get the crowd up. But, mate, you're 40 yards away from goal.
Well,
you're not Ronaldo. I don't think this is ever going in, to be honest.
Ederson was, 6-yard box?
Yeah, but he ain't worried. He ain't worried. Ederson's just like, hi, that's over, you know. Anyway, so we're in a good start from United. Let's just have a quick look at the league table, because I've not really bothered to look at it because I've been like, well, you know, it's all if, buts and maybes. But Wolves being 2-0 up would get Arsenal on 66 points if they lose. If United were to win, we would go, or even draw,
67, I think.
would put us up on. If we win, we'd go above Arsenal if they lose, and then we've got Chelsea. If you just win all your games, if we win all our games, we'll be in the top 4. It's simple as that. Simple as that. Of course, the problem
if we win tonight, we'll be 4th anyway, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, what if Chelsea and Arsenal don't finish in the top 4, but one of them wins the Europa League? Does that mean we drop out?
I think 4th place would drop out. Yeah. Interception there by Pogba. City are trying to play a lot of.
Yeah, he's going to get a yellow card there. Pereira.
Yeah, he'll get yellow for that. But you know what? I mean, that Zinchenko, that's probably a bit of payback for what he did on Rashford just now.
He might not get a yellow for
that. No, do you know what? That's not that bad. I think he's making a bit of a meal of that. Yeah, it's only knee to knee.
Card. Rashi has lost all confidence for 1 versus 1, so 40-yard shot. Oh, he has booked him for it.
Yeah,
I don't think it was a yellow card. I think it's just the speed of the reaction of the player. Yeah, I was just looking at the league table there. I think if Wolves lost and if Arsenal lost, no, we need to win to go above them anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't work out because Chelsea dropped yesterday. Doesn't it mean that if we win tonight, we would actually be in 4th with the same amount of games played? Yeah.
Yeah.
So effectively, it's in our hands then, isn't it? If we win the game tonight.
Tyson Marley, we will get Champions League if they win Europa. 5 teams in the Champions League. There you go. I thought that. The concern is that it's Chelsea are the concern because Chelsea are 3 points ahead of us. So if we lost tonight and beat them, we'll be level, but their goal difference is way better than ours. Aguero's cross, good header.
Yeah.
Offside. Okay, we've got rid of that. That's
there we
good.
Go. Yeah.
But yeah, Arsenal absolutely imploding here. They're 2-0 down. And they've got to go to Leicester at the weekend. So,
well, their away form's not really good, is it? It's pretty shit, their away form.
With Vicky 189, Mark, 4th does not drop out. They amended the rule after 2012, so 5 teams will be in the UEFA League, Champions League if one of Arsenal or Chelsea win the Europa. Thank you for that. Helm 91, wrong. No one drops out. United won the Europa in 5 teams anyway. Spurs, Chelsea, City, Pool, and United last year. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the clarity on that. So it looks like Wolves. So, I mean, this is the thing, though. Arsenal fans won't be watching this because they'll be, absolutely drowning in their own tears at the moment.
Ashley Young's been caught late there. Surely Zinchenko's got to get yellow for that when it's finished. And he's took... Fucking hell, man. Come on.
I think he will.
How many more for that? That's 2 he's done.
Yeah, he's got a yellow card.
Yeah. One after another.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Because Chelsea drew at home on Monday night against Burnley. Arsenal losing 2-0 to Wolves. They also lost to Palace at home. Interesting because I've said this. The Europa League, trying to do the Europa League in top 4 is a bloody nightmare. We've all lived it as United fans, so we all know that. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 425,000 subscribers tonight, but it's exciting at the moment. I'm sure Liverpool fans are very excited as well. But for United, it's exciting because if we can get something tonight, even a point could... If we get a point and then beat Chelsea, we're above them. So, if Arsenal lose tonight, they'd have to win their last 3 games if we beat Chelsea to finish above us. So, I don't know. Look, there's a long way to go yet. I've always fancied United to get a result today. I don't think City have started off very well at all, Marcus. I really don't.
No, they haven't. They don't look like...
What a cross. Oh, I thought that was someone getting it in. The bloody angle of the ball. That was a beautiful cross by Ashley Young. Why is nobody getting on the end of that?
There was 2
Keeper
players
screwed.
there.
What a delivery by Ashley Young. It's right into the no man's land, really. And I think
it was Fernandinho and he got it away, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he does very well, Fernandinho, because that's a tap-in.
Just waiting.
Pogba can't get to it.
Ball,
Fernandinho, yeah, lovely. Absolutely lovely. It was a brilliant cross by Ashley Young, to be fair.
Probably the best thing he's done all season, I think.
To be honest, he's had quite a good game today. I mean, look, I'm not going to give anybody kudos for playing well today. I don't think it's that... They can all bollocks to that. If they get the result, brilliant. But I'm not going to change my mind about any player just because they've turned up in a derby. So you bloody should.
Pereira. Too much curl on that one. Carl Walker's trying to gallop over the halfway line, gives it
It's like
back.
somebody just said there in the live comments, why are you only turning up today? There's clearly a problem. Sterling's into the box here. He's wide.
He's got Darmian. Ashley Young's coming.
Oh,
All
God.
across.
My heart was in my mouth there. The
Jesus.
cutback by Sterling to Bernardo Silva. He hadn't read it. Now it's United on the break. Fernandinho, what a tackle.
Right, so that's handball as well, surely.
I thought it was handball as well.
Hand. But City coming.
Stretching a bit now, isn't it?
Yep, just opening up a tad now, which is what we want.
My heart was in my mouth then. The cutback from Sterling, you just thought a City player was just going to come in and pass it home, and luckily they hadn't read it. But look how many men we've got behind the ball when City have got it. It really is.
They can't get
City
that pass.
City are used to that though. City are used to teams playing like this, and a lot of people don't feel that parking the bus works because this is where City will work a penalty or something.
They're going to have to go back to the left-hand side, I think, at the minute. Give it to Sterling. Yeah, there we go.
William Gallagher, if Wolves lose... Sorry, if Arsenal lose, a point might not be a terrible result, yeah. We'd need Arsenal to drop points again, but they've got to go to Leicester. They've got to go to Burnley. So the way Arsenal are playing at the moment, I think they're bloody knackered. I think what's happening with Arsenal and Chelsea is that they're having what we had when we were in the Europa League. It just becomes relentless. I mean, Aubameyang's not even part of the squad today for them. Aaron Ramsey's out injured. So this is what happens. Look at the way City
Company's looking a little bit shaky at the back there.
Well, they've got 2 yellow cards in their back four, haven't they? So
they got Company and Kachenko on yellows. I think we've just got Pereira, was it? Yeah.
I'll tell you what this reminds me of, though. Let me just say this, because this reminds me of when we played Wolves twice. Where we had most of the ball and we couldn't create any chances, and then they were hitting us on the break, and we actually got somebody sent off as well. Because when you're a team that's being hit on the break,
Lingard, there we go.
We've got 2v2 here. Rashford.
He's going for it. Oh, too long.
It's a wasted opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're very much playing like Wolves played against us, where we soak up the pressure, we get everyone behind the ball, and then we look to hit them on the break, and that could be quite. Obviously it's not what we want to see, but we're up against a very good Man City team, and also that could mean that they're more susceptible to red cards than we are, because we've always got people behind the ball, so we don't need to be worrying about last-ditch tackles, but City are.
Yeah, Pereira, I think, is having a great game at the minute. It's getting stuck in, showing no fear.
What a ball that is. Oh, no.
Yeah, so Luke Shaw's covered it.
Look, Luke Shaw's fast.
Pogba's on a run there. Let Fred can get him. Good ball. Oh, can he get it? No, Company's got it.
Oh, that ball back from Company was a bloody nightmare for Ederson. It just shows you the quality Ederson's got as a footballer. And they pass their way out, and then look.
Yeah, so United go back to the back five here. Sterling's pulling off Ashley Young quite often.
Is he?
Down this,
Lovely. Lucky Ashley Young.
Yeah.
Getting pulled off by Raheem Sterling.
Ashley, get in there.
Corner.
There we go. Oh.
Exert his ankle.
Yeah.
Get up, Ashley. It was only the ball hitting your ankle.
Yeah. That's the sign you're getting old, mate.
It is. When the ball hits your ankle and you're down. Apparently it's 3-0 to Wolves. A lot of people are saying it. 3-0 to Wolves. So
let's have a look.
DT will be making some coin tonight. But yeah, I'm going to stay quiet about that.
I'm seeing 2-0 on Sky. But here it comes. Ball comes in, headed away by Lindelof.
It is 3-0 to Wolves.
Yeah, it's just come through.
Well done, Lindelof.
Lindelof again. Away, Fred. Gets rid of the danger.
Oh, come on.
Man.
Watch out. Watch out.
What's the middle?
They're in the box, but United are just We've got so many people back, which is good.
Yeah, they're quite organised there, United. I'm sure. Well done. Good header away. And Pogba get out to him. Oh, do you know what? I thought David Silva had it. Oh, well done, Ashley.
I thought Sterling was going to take a tumble there.
Yeah.
How are Arsenal losing 3-0 to Wolves? This is getting me even more excited now. It's like, bloody hell, if we get a result.
Get up.
Oh, so he needs sending off that left back for Man City. Yeah. He's a right bloody cheat.
Oh, thank God. Oh, lucky one. I think Company's the weak point here with his lack of pace. I think if they can get Lingard or Rashford in behind him, I think there's goals for United here. Just got to be a little bit more. I definitely think it was
the right decision not to play Martial in this formation. I just don't think he's got that. He's not that sort of player, is he, to just keep running around aimlessly without the ball. It suits Lingard and Rashford to just, work hard up front. And people call it laziness from Martial. I just think different players for different games, really, and I just don't think it's right. Wolves are doing a great job for the goal difference too, says Vicky189. I personally, I think I'll probably get a bit of shit from Wolves fans because I said Arsenal will definitely beat them. But it's a bit like the Everton game, isn't it? Wolves are not a team that beat you 3-0. They're not like that. They're capable of beating you, but they're not a team that smashes you. So this would be on the levels of Everton. And what I find hilarious about this for Arsenal is that they actually genuinely think they're on the way back. So it'd be hilarious if it goes that way. I mean, of course, it might turn around. We've seen teams come from 3-0 down before, but
I think they might have put a bit too much water on this pitch. A lot of the players are slipping.
Probably done it on purpose,
Well, it's probably because of that leak earlier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, Fred, get in there. Ball over the top. Oh, I see what Smalling was quite alert there. Sterling got in behind, just couldn't control it.
It's an interesting one. How does everyone else feel about that? Do you think the longer it goes, it plays more into our hands or their hands? I don't know. We're not having a lot of the ball, so do we become more tired, or do we go for it a little bit more? Do we go a little bit deeper? It's half the time in the Arsenal game. You wouldn't have thought they're coming back at all, says Gareth W. Fuck the title. Pardon my French, but realistically, forget the title. This is about, if we can win this game, we're going to get top 4, I think.
I think we definitely need, the way the results have gone, we definitely need at least a point. Really, before the game, before Arsenal kicked off, we were all saying it's got to be, we have to win, simple as that. But Arsenal getting beat now, quite convincingly. I think we would safely take a point here and then concentrate on the Chelsea game on Sunday.
The thing is, as well, Arsenal have got to go to Leicester on Sunday, and I think Leicester. I mean, you never know, but I think Leicester are a tough bloody game for Arsenal. So
Rodgers, he's got them playing, hasn't he?
So I'd even say I have to have a look at the league table, but if Arsenal lose this, which looks likely, seeing if United are in here, they're not. The problem United have got if they lose is that we're 3 points behind Chelsea, and even if we beat them, Chelsea's goal difference is much better than ours.
Yeah.
So we'd struggle to close in on their goal difference, which is why we need something here today. If Arsenal lose, they're on 66 points. Again, if they... we need to get something today.
Yeah.
Even a point, I think, would be a good result.
It would do. And it would probably hand Liverpool the result, the title. But I think in terms for us, cannot afford to get beat in this game now.
No. I think we need the first goal, and I think the game going long without goals suits City more than us, to Simon Heldon. I definitely agree. I think if City score first, we're going to struggle because we're going to have to come out, and that will play into City's hands.
Do you know what? I'm going to think... I think it's the other way. I think the longer it goes on, it suits United because City will start getting nervous. They'll have to start playing.
Yeah, because they've got to win. That's what I mean. I think if City score, if City score first, it's bad news for us, not for obvious reasons, but I think we'll have to change the way we're playing. But yeah, I agree. I mean, a point might not be a bad result for us. So
Great ball. I thought that was a good ball by Rashford there. Spot to run a Lingard, but
I tell you what, if it's
Lingard.
0-0 with 10 minutes to go, I think it becomes very interesting, and I think United would have to keep this same formation and just wait for that opportunity on the break. Fred's going to pick up a yellow card here, I think. He picks up a lot of yellow cards, Fred. He might get away with it.
His tackling is very similar to Paul Scholes, isn't it? He's a good player, but he just can't tackle.
I'd be amazed if he didn't get a yellow card for that. Did he get a yellow card for that?
I think he got away with it, Mark, to be honest.
Fair play. I think the company's asking about that. I thought it was a yellow card, to be honest, but I think he's got away with one there.
I remember Sir Alex saying about Scholesy, fantastic player, but the boy can't tackle. So,
he's done well to get away with a yellow card for that.
Yeah.
Fair play. Well worth the foul. Well worth the foul.
Let's see. You got a free kick here.
Yeah, but if this is 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, City need to win. So they'll commit people forward, and then we hopefully would get an opportunity on the break.
A draw suits us, hands down, as the results are going at the minute. It doesn't suit City at all. City have to come out and win. So difference in mentality, I suppose, between the two sides. I mean, I hope Ollie does. You wouldn't say to him, look, just don't get beat at half time. I hope we actually go out and try and attack and get the 3 points. But yeah, I think Pep will probably change the game plan at half time, because they've not really, apart from the Silva shot, De Gea's not had nothing.
It's amazing how football can change around. You have that absolutely diabolical performance against Everton, and yet if we win tonight, top four will be back in our hands.
Yeah.
Chelsea will have to come and beat. Well, they won't have to, but
they'll be
need
in the
to
same
beat
boat,
Chelsea. But
yeah, they'll be like, well, we can't. Chelsea won't be able to afford to get beaten.
Yeah, but
so they'll have to come out and play.
We won't play like this against Chelsea. There's no need to.
I think Fred might pick up a yellow there on Sterling.
No. Not unless he's going to go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Fred, come on. Yeah. But Pereira's straight back in. Good play, Pogba. Good block.
Could do with doing something on the break here. Here's Pereira.
Pereira, go. Look at Pogba. Look, he's free. Acres of space.
Come on, you've got to use the ball better there. That's something City would do. I mean, to be honest, that's crap by company. Well done, Pogba.
Well, push him out. There we go. Yeah, just push him out of the way. Take that, yeah.
Oh, Pogba looks like he's hurt himself there. I don't think there was much in it, but it is a free kick.
Well, he's holding his right ankle. I think he's all right.
Yeah. Well, this is what you want, another delivery like... Ashley Young can't deliver it like last time, I wouldn't have thought, because he can't whip it in, but...
No, you'd probably favour Luke Shaw on that side, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Get a ball in there.
Well, 4 minutes to half time, and it's been an intriguing game for Manchester United so far, and I felt all week that they'll get a performance, and I'll still be annoyed with them. I'm not gonna turn into a flip flop and say, "Oh, the lads are great again." I'll be pissed off with them for not being great. But tonight it's about, I don't want to be in the Emmerdale Cup next year. And,
covering by Darmian there.
If we can get a win tonight, I think. Well, you never trust United, do you? We could go to Huddersfield and lose again, but to get it back in our hands would be absolutely fantastic.
So we've got probably a good 4 minutes yet till half time. I think for United, it's been, I hate to say it, I think they've been quite comfortable, to be honest.
The thing is, that from a tactical point of view, I know people... Look, no one's going to be criticising us. The only people who's going to be criticising us is City fans, and they ain't got many. So Liverpool fans will be loving what we're doing, and United fans, we're very happy with what we're doing. But what I would say is, if we were playing Liverpool, they'd struggle. If we were playing Spurs, they'd struggle. We are literally parking the bus when they haven't got the ball, and it's very hard to break teams down when they do that. But we need to get something out of this game tonight. Oh, right.
Here we go. David Silva's in. Fred was right across.
Oh, get hold of him.
Go on, Smalling.
What a save! What a save by De Gea.
Dave.
Sterling doesn't grab hold of it. That was the bloody chance. Thoughts on Darmian today, says Agil Kamal. I don't know how De Gea makes this save. I think Sterling either makes a mess of it or De Gea makes a great save. It's bouncing around the box. City are just like, are they going to pull the trigger? Are they going to pull the trigger? Sterling gets hold of it. He shoots and it's low enough for De Gea to get hold of. It's not a worldy save. It's an important save. Get the pink gloves out, emoji people. He's just made a good save. KJM says, just like Ed Wood with that cold mark seems to be outstaying its welcome. Cheers for the continued great content and here's to 425,000 subscribers. Pereira. Oh, good block.
Go for it, kid.
It's end to end, isn't it, when they want it to be?
It is, yeah. No, that's not handball. You don't even know where that was.
But we don't want it. We don't want this to happen. It's becoming a little bit stretched at the moment, and that's a foul by Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw might pick booked. Right.
I don't think it was a worldy save by De Gea. I think Sterling didn't really connect with it well, but sometimes those can find the way in, and this is embarrassing to watch. We suck, says Luke Skywalker.
Well, the troublesome thing is, how did Sterling manage to waltz through?
I think people are just scared of putting a tackle in, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, there was three players around him. He went past Smalling. Fred dived in, probably a little bit reckless to dive in. Should have stood up. Darmian was there. I think Lindelof was around there as well. So at least 3 defenders he went past.
I think it's massively. I mean, Liverpool fans are probably a little bit more nervous than we are, which is hilarious. But I think it's so interestingly poised, this game, especially if United were
Pogba.
They could catch us here if we're not careful. Watch out for Aguero. He's got a good shot on him.
On Pogba, there's 2 there.
Wide. That should be half time. Bloody hell. It's
a fantastic end to the first half.
I think it's just so intriguing because, obviously, don't give a care. Liverpool fans are desperate for us to win. City need to win. We need to win because of what's going on with Arsenal in the top 4 race. It's been a really interesting first half. I think the second half is going to be really interesting because I think United just keep doing what they're doing, don't they? But City are going to have a point's a terrible result for City. It puts it into Liverpool's hands, so they can't have a point. Here's Lingard. Come on, you're getting bullied by little men here. City again. Just be careful. Don't watch the runners. Watch the runners. It's Kyle Walker's over on the overlap. Bernardo Silva. Fred.
Welling.
Refs
get up.
Refs played it on there.
Yeah.
Which,
get up. Nothing
Fred
wrong with
needs
that.
to be a bit careful. We're on the break here, and I'll read your comment, Vicky.
Yeah.
Still a minute of this half to go. Come on, you should be pushing with a bit of energy here. What's the sideways passings for?
Yeah.
Oh, I think there's been a foul.
Fuck's sake.
I wouldn't. Why? Why are you putting the ball out there?
It's not a head injury.
It's not a head injury.
Only his ankle.
Pep's not happy. I think City are there for the taking if we hadn't set up negatively. This is a derby. Form and talent are secondary, says Vicky189. I think you're right, Vicky. I think it'd be very interesting if we just actually went for it in the second half because winning a point's not great. It is if Arsenal drop points again. I don't think that was a foul by Lingard. I think he's took the ball and then he's took the player.
Blatantly gets the ball first.
Yeah. Ball then player, so I'm happy with that. That's fine. Lingard, Pereira and Fred, absolutely crap. Get them off, says Tyler. Interesting. I certainly think we're probably carrying Pereira, Lingard and Fred a little bit more because the defence is so deep that it's hard for City to get at us. But we're not really doing anything in the final third, to be honest, have we? I mean, Lingard had that half chance.
Rashford's got in behind a couple of times, but
we haven't really created anything, have we? There was a great goal by Pogba to get Lingard in, but it would have been a worldie if he'd scored it. I think we need to do. I agree. I think we need to do more in the second half. Well, I feel that this game is there to be won. I don't think a draw is enough. It doesn't definitely get us top 4 a draw. So I think we need to try and win it in the second half. That's my feeling. Don't know about you lot, Marcus. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I mean,
No,
for
just
me,
looking at the table, the only reason I say that is I look at the table and I think a draw, if we draw and then beat Chelsea, we go above them. But if Arsenal win their last 3 games, they'll still be above us anyway, even if we draw. So it's almost like, yeah, a draw's okay. And yeah, I'm sure Arsenal will drop points again, but it doesn't put it in our hands. If we win, we put it in our hands. I think it's there to be won anyway. I think the longer City don't score, if there's 10 minutes to go, they'll try that. They'll go gung-ho, and maybe we catch them on the break. That's what we need to do.
this is it. I was just going to say that I think United should stick to the game plan that they've employed in the first half, because it certainly worked. So I think wait until City. Let City play their cards first. I mean, they're in need of the 3 points. Their 3 points is more at stake than what ours are, really.
That's half time.
Yeah, we want top 4. They want the title. So yeah, I would wait and see what their game plan is in the second half, and then change ours according to that. But certainly the counter-attack is going to play a major role for us in the second half.
Well, I mean, Ollie's walking off looking like he's quite content. I mean, look, let's be blunt. We've parked the bus and we've not really done a lot on the brakes. So, but what I would say is the defensive side of United has worked very well. I mean, look, if Sterling connects with that chance at the end, it's probably 1-0 and all your work is undone, because you're like, well, what the bloody hell are we doing to try and score a goal? And I suppose that's what I would say. Defensively, it's worked quite well. The 5 at the back and getting everyone behind the ball, it's made it hard for City. There's not a lot of space. But do you think we can keep City out for 90 minutes? Because I don't. I don't think this game can end 0-0. So we need to do a little bit more on the attack, because we're waiting for the inevitable. I feel that there is a City goal going to come. So we've got to try and find a goal ourselves, which makes me look at that team and I think, yeah, you know what? Fred's been a bit sloppy. Pereira's been sloppy. Lingard's not really got on the ball enough. There's been a lot of good endeavour from United, but I think we need to score. I think even if we want a point, we need to score. So it's how we do that, because we've been a bit sloppy on the ball when we've got it, and I think City are just going to go more and more and more and more, and whether they get a penalty or whatever, I think they will score a goal. So we've got to think about how we're going to score a goal. It's difficult though, Marcus, because I think that, Simon Howden says the way we are playing, I would consider to put on another striker to try to stretch their defence a bit more and create some room behind the line. I mean, that's the gamble, isn't it? Because you think, well, if we take a defender off, then they're going to get at us more. But they are only playing one up front. You've got Aguero with 3 centre-backs near him. Lindelof, Smalling and Darmian against Aguero. Because Young's dealing with Sterling and Shaw is dealing with Bernardo Silva. So if we took a centre-back off, it would give us another man in the attack. And I don't think it would necessarily make us any more susceptible to a goal, because I think they're going to score at some point anyway. But it makes us more likely to score ourselves. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I just feel that if we continue the way we are, it's going to end up with a respectable 1-0 loss. And I think we need to try and find a goal. That game's ultimately, I think the game's there for the taking. I think we've been in this game enough to actually now try and win it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to swing either way, isn't it? I mean, one thing for sure is 0-0 doesn't suit either team. But I mean, to us, it does to a certain extent, but it definitely doesn't to City.
I don't think it'll end 0-0. It can't, because I think somebody's got to basically go all-out attack, and it'll be City.
They have to, yeah.
And then we might catch them.
So, I think that is where it's going to play into our hands in the second half. And, we let City make their move first. They're going to be the more desperate. So as soon as they make that change, because you can guarantee Sane or Jesus is going to come on, and they're going to have to sacrifice something. Probably they'll sacrifice one of their backline. And then we strike. Then we'll put on. They'll go to 3 at the back. We can make a change and go to 4 at the back. So, it does work in our favour, I think, from a tactical point of view, if we let City make their move first and then we make a change according to that. But I don't think United really haven't really put a foot wrong in that first half. They've been quite compact, I think. I think the midfield 3 has worked okay. I think, you've got Pereira and Fred doing the donkey work in there, putting their feet in, getting the tackles. You've got Pogba picking up the passes. You've got Rashford and Lingard running in behind on the counter-attack. So I think the game plan has worked, certainly in the first half. But second half, I would seriously wait and see what Guardiola does and then go from there.
Yeah, and you know what? We spoke about that in the first half, didn't we, as well? I mean, United, if they keep doing what they're doing and can keep that clean sheet, I think the last 10 to 15 minutes of this game is going to... You know what? I just tweeted it there, and I say it, I smile because I think as United fans, I'm nervous about this game and I want us to win it, but they've treated us so badly over the last 2-3 years, these players, that you sort of... You never know what's going to happen, and you prepare yourself for anything. Like, I could see United winning that second half, I could see it being a draw, I could see us getting battered 4-0. So your body sort of becomes acclimatised to it. But what I find hilarious is that Liverpool fans have just got through 45 minutes, and the title is theirs if it stays 0-0. So they're going to be way more nervous than we are. And if we have got any Liverpool fans watching, I can't tell you what's going to happen. I don't know. I think... But I think that last 10 minutes will probably be more nervy for them than it is for us if it's 0-0, because 10 minutes to go 0-0, I think we might nick it. I really do, because I think City will go for it. But maybe they'll get their goal, or maybe it'll end up in a draw. I don't know. Playing well, bad first touches, Fred passing poor, says Kamel. I think that Pereira and Fred haven't distributed the ball well enough, and Lingard hasn't as well. If they can improve that in the second half, I think you can get back. You can get at that City back four. They've got 2 players on yellow cards as well. If they lose a player, I mean, we'd have to... That's interesting. We'll come back to that. Vishwal Oran says if we take off a centre-back, we might become vulnerable because of the midfield runner, both David Silva and Gundogan. That's the interesting thing, isn't it? Imagine if City got a man sent off. That would be very interesting. I mean, surely we wouldn't continue to play the same way. Surely we'd have a go at it then, but...
well, you would think a change in formation. You know, if City go a man down, you probably think, okay, let's go to 4-3-3, and let's go at them. You know, let's try and stretch them a man less, because I think if they go a man down, they'll probably sit and try and contain. And I think City would probably take a point. You know, if they're down to 10 men, but. I
disagree. I don't think how they can't take a point. I mean,
no, they can't. But I think in the context of the game, you know, the way derbies go, I think, you know, they would quite happily take a point and know that they're still probably, not very much, but they're still probably in the title race. It's highly unlikely they'll win it, but...
To be honest, they're 2 points behind, they're 2 points behind Liverpool. So if they draw, they're 1 point behind. If they lose, they're 2 points behind. So actually, they'd probably rather lose than draw. So, look, if they went down to 10 men, they'd go for it. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't sit back and take a point. No way. Because it doesn't make enough difference to them. A draw is like a loss, so they'll go for it. But, I mean, I'd love it to happen, because I think if they went down to 10 men, United should just bloody go for it. Lynn Hall's got it right, though. I've got to say this. She says, much more effort and determination. Why can't they be like that every game? And I think we're all going to take that away, no matter what the result today. We'll be like, I expected this, Lynn, and everybody. I said this would happen. There's nowhere else for them to go. They had to put in a performance tonight, because if they didn't, they would have probably got booed off. So they had to put in a performance tonight. And look, we've all played professional sport at some point. It's very easy to get yourself up for the big games where it's against your big rivals. So I'm not surprised by United's performance today. If we do get a positive result today, they bloody better do it against Chelsea, Huddersfield and Cardiff as well. That's where I'll be more concerned.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? If we get the result today and we drop points to in any of the last 3 games, then it's all the hard work has gone out the window.
Yeah.
So
a few people saying Sanchez or Jake. I'll answer your question. Jake McRae says, Mark, thoughts on Ashley Young? I thought he's done okay. I think he's done okay. But you know what, Jake? He's been shit for months. Like, so what do you want me to say? One good game and I'm like back, you know, he's pocketed Salah in the past. Like, he's a professional footballer. He can have a good game. And he has got the support of Darmian every time Sterling gets the ball. And he has got a decent cross on him when he can deliver. So I think Ashley Young's had a good game. I think out of 10, I'd probably give him a 7. But does that make up for months and months and months and months of poor performances? Well, you know, you make your own mind up about that. For me, no, it doesn't. But he's having a good game. Martial or Sanchez on for Lingard? I don't think it'll happen, Marcus. I don't. But I probably would go with Sanchez over Martial, because he's got that more of a work ethic.
Well, do you know what? I think if you're looking at wanting to stretch City's back line, I think you've got to go with Martial, no matter what sort of form he's in. He's not been great the last couple of months, I think a lot of people would say, but he's got that ability to do a trick or two, to, you know, get to the byline, get a ball in. He can finish as well. it all depends on what his mood is, I suppose, if he comes on. But I think when you look at Alexis Sanchez, it's all the work, it's all the endeavour. But like I say, I think if you want to stretch the City backline, you've got to go with Martial.
I've just had some Liverpool fans saying, do you want to borrow Van Dijk, Mane, Salah and Firmino for the second half? You tell you what, if we had that front three, I think I'd be feeling a lot more confident. And actually, we probably could do with Fabinho in the midfield as well, just to move it through the midfield. I think Pereira... I like the mobility of Fred and Pereira, and I would definitely play them over Matic and McTominay in a game like this. Yes, I would, but they have been a little bit wasteful. You've got to... When they get the ball, they've got to get it forward to Lingard and Rashford quick so that we can exploit their that space. We will get space against Man City because they're committing players forward. City won't get space against us because we're going to soak up and try and hit on the break. So our midfield three needs to be a little bit better in the second half in the way that we move the ball quickly. But how do you think it's going to go, Marcus, second half? It's the $1 million question, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean... I still fancy United to win it. Obviously not 3-2 now, but I do think the more City are going to press coming towards the end of the second half, the more gaps that are going to appear, and hopefully United can take advantage of that. We've got two quick players up front that we've already seen in the first half. We can get at that City backline. It all comes down to the distribution from the midfield. Can we counter-attack quick enough to cause them any damage? I'd like to think so, but you just never know, do you? You never know what United team are going to turn out in the second half.
We are very, very close to 425,000 subscribers, which is a nice little point to hit for the channel. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We will have match reaction. Obviously, we're going to stay live with you for the second half, but we will have a match reaction straight after the game. We've got fan cams as well, which I think at the moment it would be quite an interesting watch from the fan cams because, I think it would be very much similar to what a lot of us are saying. Shambolic at the weekend. Don't trust these players. But tonight they've turned up, and that doesn't surprise me. But I think this game is going to have a few twists and turns. This isn't just a game of football, people. This is Man City's title hopes.
Yeah.
They can't just leave it as is. They've got to try and get something from it. We've got a new member, and it's Dean Woodward. Thank you and welcome, Dean. You can join the United Stand Members Club by clicking the join button. We've also had a contribution from Mr. Glenn Johnson. Good first 30 minutes, poor last 15. Pereira has had a bit of a stinker with the ball and carries a yellow card. Should be off in the break or early second. And Xavier Daniels, Mark, if we draw and beat Chelsea at the weekend, we will be above them on 68 points and they will be on 67 points. Yes, I understand that, Xavier. But if we draw and Arsenal win their last 3 games, we'll still finish 5th. The win puts it into our hands. If we win and we beat Chelsea and we beat Huddersfield and Cardiff, neither Chelsea or Arsenal can catch us. If we draw, we can go above Chelsea by beating them, but we need Arsenal to drop points again. And I'm sure they will, but it's... I just think the opportunity there is to win tonight, and if we win tonight, we can get top 4. So that's how I feel about it. But of course, you take a draw over a loss. I think the draw becomes intriguing now. Keishaf Mahan says, talk about Arsenal. Well, they're the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? I looked at their next 2 games and thought, Wolves away and Leicester away. If they draw those 2, I'll take that. Well, they're going to lose to Wolves, aren't they? So let's hope that they drop points against Leicester as well. But I can see it being a Chelsea-Arsenal Europa League final. And imagine that. Imagine if we get top 4 with Spurs and Chelsea and Arsenal is basically a final to get in the Champions League. That would be a great thing to watch as a neutral. Yeah. But
it looks like City are going to make a change. Phil Foden's warming up, I think it is.
Well, that's a kick in the teeth, isn't it? If he comes on, that's a real kick in the teeth because that's Man City bringing on a youth player and we haven't got one.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, a bit of an attacking change as well. So I would probably think that maybe Gundogan would be the one to go. I can't see them taking off Fernandinho. So City would go a little bit more attacking. Hopefully that that would free up a bit more space for Pogba, or Fred maybe might get a bit more time on the ball. But City are going to play their first card. A bit like a game of poker, isn't it? But United definitely. So what are we on, 65? Yeah, so we go joint 4th with Chelsea, but technically we'd be 5th on goal difference.
There's still some United fans in the live comments saying, I want City to lose. I want City to win. I want City to win. I can understand it, but it's... I think because of the Arsenal result, you've got to hope that we can pull this off.
I think that's the way it is tonight, isn't it? I think because Arsenal being beaten, we really... Okay, a point is not a bad result, but a win would put it in our hands for the last 3 games.
Yeah.
You don't want to be relying on other teams, and I mean, like you said there, Mark, Arsenal, they got to go at Leicester. You think that they would drop points there at Leicester. Leicester playing, some decent football, and Vardy's a threat, as everyone knows. So, but I'd rather it be in our hands than rely on others. But United going to kick off, attacking the Stretford end. Here we go.
We're up and running. So, fasten your seatbelts, Liverpool fans, United fans, and, well, there aren't any City fans, but let's see what happens. United on the attack there, but they've lost it, and it's City coming away. I don't know whether Foden has come on or not. Did he come on?
No, he's not come on yet. I think he was just warming up down there.
Fucking hell, they've got an overlap here. Sterling into the box. Stand him up, Young. Just don't do anything stupid.
All across.
So you've got so many numbers back. That's the good thing about the back 5.
Yep.
The back 5, that's the good thing, is that when they do catch us on the break, you've got so many players back there. But
you're guaranteed the 3 centre-backs there, aren't you, straight away if we lose possession around the halfway line.
See, that's poor from Pogba. He skips past Pogba and then he's just jogging. You can see on the pitch, Pogba's just jogging. Darmian for the 90th minute winner. Said somebody there, let me just get back.
Even Pereira there in the box saw the run, just let him go.
Skank face, Darmian for the 90th minute winner.
Good 1-2 there between Luke Shaw and I think it was Fred Ratchford down the left hand side. Carl Walker's with him. Carl Walker don't want to tackle him. Pogba.
Marky says our passing's crap. It does need to improve in the second half because we have had the ball, but we just not done enough with the ball.
Bit quicker as well. Ashley Young's gone past 2. Sarball.
He's won a corner as well.
Corner to United. First corner of the game, is it?
This is where Darmian and Chris Smalling and everybody else needs to step up to the plate.
So the game started really how the first half finished. Bit end to end. United with the corner, so Smalling's in there, Pogba's in there. Smalling having a chat with Pogba.
Beat the first man. Who's on the bloody corner? Young. He's hung it up.
Definitely beat the first one. Smalling, nod down.
I was just there to be hit.
Yeah. Fred back in. Oh, Luke, push him out of the way. That's it. They're letting Pogba have time on the ball here. There was 3 players around Pogba then, and all of them just stood there as if to say, well, what are you going to do with it? So he's getting the time to pick his passes now. Ashley Young's got it on the right-hand side. Pereira.
Tobias says that Young's played well tonight. He has. We need to get at that left back. He's on a yellow card. Get at that left back. That's what I say. United having a bit of the ball here anyway. Pogba, shoot! Pogba. Oh, tell you what. It's thin margins because the tackle comes in and it tackles him. But if it's, if Liverpool win the title, we man up and give them credit for deserving it. But fans hoping we lose to City, let me just finish that comment, is an unsportsmanlike attitude, says Vicky 189.
See, just trying to calm things down now. United come out this second half pretty quick. you'd hope that Ollie, if need be, would make his changes pretty quickly as well. If we're chasing the game.
Robert McCall says Pogba's not trying. I just think he has that languid style, doesn't he? To be fair, but
Fernandinho's down. Got an injury.
I tell you what, if he goes off, he's a big loss for them.
Yeah. I think he's had it. He's holding his knee.
I think it might be for the tackle he does on Pogba, which...
Yeah. Can't see anything wrong with that.
No, I think he just jams his knee, doesn't he?
Yeah, just jarred it a bit. But you don't see Fernandinho go down and stay down often.
Well, Leroy Sané's the man who...
He's getting ready. So you probably think that... I suppose they'll wait and see what's the matter with Fernandinho first, wouldn't they? But definitely go with the three up front then. Sterling, Aguero, Sané. Looks like
I think Fernandinho looks like he's going to be all right to me.
Yeah. Sané's 25.
So Sané's come on for...
It is Fernandinho, isn't it? I thought Fernandinho was 25. Yeah, it is. He's off.
Well, that weakens them big time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not gone straight down the tunnel, so could only assume it's tactical. Brave move. You would think now that Gundogan slips as the CDM.
We've got to try and get this. I mean, I know it's obvious, but we've got to try. You know, it's 0-0 after 50 minutes. Not many people thought that would be the case, and it's quite with a home team, and they need to win. So this game has got to. United have got to get. I know a draw is not terrible, but get the bloody win, lads. Come on.
Darmian can keep up with him. That's good. There we go. See that out. Actually, get rid. Nice. So you think now that City are just gonna?
We've just got to be effective on the break. I mean, City are going to have a lot of the ball, and we're going to get a lot of people behind the ball. But we have got that pace on the break. That's what we need to use. It's all right bringing Sané on, but ideally you're always going to have 3 or 4 players close by him. It's a bit like what we have with Martial and Pogba, isn't it? So, and on the other side, I think Luke Shaw can deal with Sterling. So we just got to keep concentrating at the back, and then when we get the ball, break cleverly.
Yeah,
at some point, City are going to have
trying.
to go 3 at the back, and then that just opens it up.
They're reluctant to get that ball to cross that ball in.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to try and pass.
Well, they haven't got the height, have they? So
no. There's a ball over the top there. Look.
Oh, God, see, United clear it again, but it's another cutback. And that's what I have liked about United tonight. It's the, how many times have we seen crosses go into the box and somebody's been on the end of it? And I know the defence, it looks good, but it's
No, United are backs to the wall here at the minute.
Yeah, but we look all right. We're well positioned. Bring on the dog shagger, says Shiddy. They are getting into the box a lot more now. Oh, fucking hell! There it is! There you go. Bloody hell! What sort of defending's that? It's a crap goal! I'm sorry, bloody Liverpool fans. Well, I'm not actually, because we're United fans at the end of the day. But that's crap. Is that, please don't be Luke Shaw or Lindelof. That is shit defending. Oh, for God's sake, lads. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's not even a good goal. He basically stands up the fullback and hits it low. And that's it. 1-0 to Manchester City. And I just, all the hard work, all the concentration, and they're just passing the way into the penalty box too much over the last 5 minutes for me. And here it is, Bernardo Silva at Luke Shaw, stands him up and shit. It's just terrible. It's terrible defending, that is, from Shaw. You got to stop him, mate. You're showing it. You know what I hate about this? I'll always have a pop at Young, and I do like Luke Shaw, but you've shown him onto his strongest foot. You've shown him onto his left foot, and I know he's got a right foot, but you've shown him onto his left foot, and Daya can't save that. It's like it's shocking. Absolutely crap defending that is from Luke Shaw, who I'm a massive fan of, but that is Bob's your uncle shit. Really disappointed by that. Really disappointed.
Looking back at it, it is disappointing defending, but you did touch on it a minute ago, Mark. Pogba jogging back, and he did exactly the same there, and he's not the only one guilty of it. Fred was there doing it as well, just jogging back, thinking Luke Shaw could handle him.
Oh, Marcus, that's not what we wanted.
No.
Because I think it makes it very difficult for us now.
Yeah, it's such a shame because I said it was backs to the wall, literally about 30 seconds before that goal. And you can always tell City that they were just trying to find that perfect pass. And they found it.
Oh, this is it now. Look at us now. Yeah. If that goes in, come on, pick your heads up, you bloody pussies. Banter FC, Pampers FC. We go 1-0 down and the heads are dropped. City are carving us open like a bloody Christmas turkey here. It's like, this has not been happening all game. And now, we've just fallen apart again. You bloody bottlers. What's all that about? We're 1-0 down. Show some, please. Hit the outside of the post.
You know what? It's seriously got to get the fucking act together now.
That's bollocks, that is. Like, this is United to a bloody T. Anybody who's not a United fan hoping that City are going to lose, this is United to a T. We do okay. We go 1-0 down. Come on.
Oh.
Goal! Oh, Lingard! You couldn't wrap a bloody Christmas present. What are you doing? He's got an open goal on the back post and he's bloody missed it. What are you doing? Most fortuitous cross ever. Comes to Rashford here. I tell you what, this better not be as bloody easy as it looks. Rashford gets on it, comes across the face of goal. Oh, you bloody idiot, Lingard. What are you doing? Keep your eye on the bloody ball. It's a tap-in. You better score this one, kid. Oh, what? Oh. Get out.
Take a locket or something, mate.
That's a bloody tap-in, that is. That's a bloody tap-in.
That's...
I don't know what Ashley Young's on about there.
Oh.
Could have had him sent off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least United have reacted a little bit. We've got to. It should be 1-1. It's not 0-0, by the way. I need to do the score changer, but bloody hell.
Tackle by Smalling. Come on, where's the players here telling the other ones to pick themselves up?
Oh, this miss by Lingard. Get your head on it. Get something on it. Oh, I'm not having that. That's that is atrocious by Lingard. Yeah, that if that's anybody else, you're calling him an idiot.
Yeah, I think. It's like, I think even Lukaku would have put that in.
That is what a miss. Fucking bloody hell.
United trying to play out the back now. They just can't do it. So on the left.
I will update the score, but it's just end to end at the moment. Oh, come on.
Across the face.
There's chances there. Of course there's bloody chances there. We've just missed an open goal. I can't believe it. I
think since the change, since Sane has come on, the game has got a lot more open. So Ollie's got to react to this within the next 5-10 minutes.
Lincoln says that Martial scores that. Mate, anybody scores that.
Me or Mark score that.
I thought it was a bad miss live. It looks even worse. Every time. Oh, God. It was a tap-in. Well, he could have got his head on it. He could have got something on it. I mean, Jesus Christ. Unless he wants Liverpool to not to win the league, in which case, it's up to you, Jesse, isn't it? But
He had plenty of time there as well because Company tried to clear it, but he fell flat on his back.
The danger is we've got to get the next goal. We've got to get the next goal because if they go 2-0 up, this is gone. You know, it's only a goal.
I think we've got to go 4 at the back now. Got to go 4 at the back. Either go for a 4-4-2 or the 4-3-3. Because the midfield at the minute, since that goal, our midfield is just being bypassed. Gundogan is allowed to run.
I'm so disappointed. You know what? I'm so disappointed. This sums up the season though, because Luke Shaw's been absolutely fantastic this year, but he's shown Bernardo Silva onto his stronger foot, and it's just unforgivable. But you know, Andy Robertson's made mistakes for Liverpool this season. They're not many of them, but you do it. But in a game of this magnitude, you don't want to be making mistakes like that because it's them fine margins. It's so disappointing.
Come on, Pogba, get your head up. Look, where's the runners for him? Holding on to the ball, man.
Lose it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They're so much better than we are at pressing. They're very, very good.
Come on, United, get forward.
Begrudgingly, I'm about to change the score, by the way. Yeah, we've got to go for this. It's going to end 3-1, says Metamato. Oh, that's not good enough from Young.
Lingard ain't going to beat Company and Laporte in the air.
I can't get over that Lingard miss. If Liverpool fans hated him before, they're going to bloody really hate him now.
Come on. I thought I saw Pogba limping then for a second. Pereira's been non-existent so far, second half.
Yeah, but you know, this is what I mean about Paul Pogba. If you can get £150 million for him, as good as he is, you do it, don't you? Because what's he doing that Fred and Pereira aren't? This is what I like Pogba, and I think he'd be a better team with better players around him. But in this United team, he don't bring enough to the party. Super chat from Sharath Kamath Fitness. Calling the player lazy and selfish is a huge acquisition, but Pogba is lazy and selfish. Look at him jog back again and again. Massive gulf.
Pogba just,
Massive gulf in quality showing now. Hit it, Pogba. Oh. It's worrying when Darwin is your best centre back. That miss is just so evident of being men versus boys, as AJ is back. Oh,
that's a foul.
He's giving the free kick right on the edge of the box. Come on. Get Mata on. This is where you need Mata. Right on the edge.
Do not want Rashford taking this.
No, this is not the area for Marcus Rashford to take a free kick.
Who'd you stick on it? Pereira? He's having a look at it. No, he's going on what Pogba's going for it. Young's there. Fred's there. Oh, fuck me, Rashford is there as well.
You got to dink it up and over here.
Walk away, Rashford. Go on. Thank you.
Pogba will take it, I reckon.
Yeah, he's lining it up. Fred's having a look as well.
You tell you what, Fred could curl it round the wall.
Yeah, he's got a decent left foot.
I saw him do that against Wolves and hit the outside of the post. Ryan, FTW, been at work until now. How's the game been? Have we been going positive? Who's been your standout for United? I wouldn't say we've had a standout player. It's been a very hard working performance, which you would expect after what happened against Everton. But the game is there. I mean, I like how far that wall's back from here. If he gets this on target, this is 1-1. Come on, Pogba.
Pogba, go for it.
Or Fred. Into the bloody wall.
In the wall. Rebounds. Like.
You've got to get it over the wall from there. Karita Jagger says Fred will score this. I personally fancied that more for Fred, to be honest with you. Cross terrible from Young.
Fucking hell.
Get out. That's terrible from there.
Fair play, Rashford for keeping it in, chasing
They
it.
didn't keep
Oh
it.
no, it went out.
Went for a bloody goal kick. That free kick's terrible. 3-1 to Arsenal. I mean, not to Arsenal. They've got a consolation goal. I don't think there can be that long left in that game. Probably about 10 minutes. Which is a bit of a pain. Well, we need to get something from this game ourselves.
Do you know what? I always see Ollie talking to Carrick, but I never see Carrick say anything back.
Yeah, I've been a bit critical of Carrick this week. I mean, to be honest, you just don't know what the situation is. What maybe is really noisy offside, but that free kick was a right waste of space. That's a cracking opportunity. You've got to get it over the wall. You've got to get it over the wall. What annoys me about this performance is we've sat back, but if you're going to sit back and lose 1-0, you may as well have not sat back.
No, go for it, innit?
You've
got to chase the game.
Go for it.
United got a free kick here in our own half. Pumped up by De Gea. Absolutely no one going for it. Fred's got it back. Gone past one. Lingard's got to get it out. Sure, look. Get it out, sure. No.
Our passing compared to them, it's just a million miles away, isn't it? And here's Sterling. They've got a potential 4v3 into Sane. If he gets that out of his feet. Oh, get out! What a joke! What a joke! Bloody hell, that's a joke, that is. So it's too easy. They work a situation to the left and Sane picks his spot. I tell you what, it really is breadsticks against bloody Jedis. I mean, lightsabers. Breadsticks against we are fighting Man City with breadsticks against lightsabers. Jedis against Jar Jar Binks. Weezer shit. Absolutely rubbish. I tell you what, he took them to the cliff this morning. The cliff, United's historic training ground. He took them to the cliff this morning to try and inspire them. He should have thrown them off it. Absolutely terrible. Look at the laziness. We can see this 4-3-3. Who's running back?
Exactly. Smalling and Darmian both staying with Aguero, and yet there's an overlap. There's two on our right-hand side, just in acres of space.
I'm never going to apologise to Liverpool, but this is embarrassing. This is bloody embarrassing. The defensive side of our game today, absolutely shite. Darmian should be closing in. Again, you're showing somebody onto their left foot. Close the angle off the left foot. Look at Pep there like he's won. Oh, shut up. I'm fed up of it. Defensively, what are we parking the bus for with this defence? You can't trust it.
The lead up to that goal all came from a pass that was probably about half a metre away from, I think it was Pogba. Pass from Fred to Pogba.
Breadstick defending. Absolutely crap. Crumbles. Get the poppadoms out because there's a bowling ball coming. Shattered. Freestyle. Bollocks. The funny thing is, Marcus, we were just talking about this before. If you're going to park the bus, make sure you bloody defend. And, we haven't.
Even De Gea is shaking his head there. Why on earth there was no communication between Darmian and Smalling? God knows. They were both following the same man. I mean, there was no need for Darmian to follow Aguero. Smalling had that covered.
This is just men against boys now. Bloody embarrassing. Both of those goals are preventable. Yep. Shaw shouldn't show him inside, and Darmian should show him again. Shouldn't be letting him shoot off his left foot to the near post. Make him shoot across the goal. De Gea, as a goalkeeper, is going to have his angles far, far better. But, this is the problem. This could be Fulham at Craven Cottage. It could be Huddersfield at wherever they play. The reality is, if you park the bus against Man City, if you don't create anything at the other end, all you're ever going to get is nil. And they will score. They will score. We said it at half-time. It's not going to be 0-0 against Man City. They'll find a way to score. So, I mean, at the end of the day, all we're doing is losing respectably. As you know, unless it goes to 3 or 4-0, then it's a thrashing. Oh, we only lost 1 or 2-0 to Man City. You still bloody lose the game. Like, the tactics are crap. They're rubbish. Absolutely shit. Unless you're going to play defenders who can defend, what's the point in defending and just losing 1 or 2-0? There's not enough there to go and get the result. Oh, granted, Lingard missed a bloody sitter. I mean, it was a bit lucky, but he should have scored it. But the tactics are just terrible. And why are we still playing 5 at the back when we're 2-0 down? Because you're scared you're going to get beat 4 or 5. Oh, yours, I'm fed up with this fear. Like, you can't play like this at Old Trafford. Oh, we're scared we're going to get battered, so I'm going to keep 5 defenders on the pitch. I mean, Jesus, you're still losing. You're still losing. What was the chat at half-time? Try and grind out 0-0. It was never going to be 0-0. Never. Even if it was 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, City would just swarm around the box and get a penalty or something. It's what they do. I remember watching City 3 years ago, and teams were trying to park the bus, and it'd be, sometimes it'd be 0-0 with 85 minutes, but they still get a goal. They'll still do it.
The gulf in quality between the two teams is absolutely massive.
I know, you know what? On the subject of Pogba, he should be getting hold of that midfield a lot better. I'm sorry, he should. He's a bloody giant today. He doesn't normally have a midfield where he's the giant. So where's your physicality? Where's your energy? Where's your athleticism? Again, it's just not good enough. Not good enough. I think that midfield should have done a lot better than it has.
I mean, he can say that he's a World Cup winner and blah, blah, blah and all that, but no, well, I think everyone knows my feelings on him, but he's not.
Well, it's not even a question of if he'll go, is it? He will go, and he'll go because he wants Champions League football. So we'll be in the Emmerdale Cup, and he'll go anyway.
If we get 150 million euros or whatever it is they're talking about, let him go. I'd much rather keep De Gea. I'd much rather keep Herrera, to be honest. I just do not see what this guy brings to the team.
Joseph Young says, not saying Mourinho was good, but he was right about this set of players. Uninspired, lazy, weak mentality. We need 300 million this summer. Ollie needs to overhaul the team. Look, Mourinho's right about that, but he's still a crap manager. De Gea, the best goalkeeper in the world, says Gustavo Cortez. I don't think you can actually blame him for either goal. I don't. I know you want to, but the Silva goal is Shaw's fault, and the second goal,
Lukaku's coming on for Pereira.
Sasha Joe says, why are we surprised when our team doesn't even have half the quality that City have? I mean, look, I hope Lukaku comes on and scores a hat-trick, but it ain't going to happen, is it?
Oh, he's telling them to push, go right up. So he's gone with the 2 up top, Lukaku and Rashford. Lingard's playing in behind. But I think we've definitely lost the game now, bringing Lukaku on, because he don't do nothing either.
The thing I don't understand about that is we've still got 5 defenders on the pitch.
Yeah, sacrifice.
We've still got Darmian, Lindelof, Smalling, Jones and Young, and we've took Pereira off for a striker. So we've basically gone 5-3-2. We're still doing the same formation. We're still playing 5 at the back. 5 at the back and we're 2-0 down. This is, like I said, if this was Mourinho, people would be going mad. Like, this is... I don't know. I don't really know what to say.
The thing is, I mean, you look back on it now, we all thought Mourinho was absolutely nuts criticising these players. But you look back on it now and you've got to say, there's an element of truth to it. There really is. I mean, all the pundits and that, they all know what the problem is in the dressing room. They all know who it is. Everyone just wants to not say his name.
AJ is back, says another tactical mistake today from Ollie. Again, subs on far too late. Fancy playing defensive for 70 minutes. Yeah, I agree. I mean, who brings Lukaku on against the team that plays football that you're trying to get back from 2-0 down against? I mean, what's the plan there? Lukaku's only good if you create chances in the box.
We've gone 4 at the back. We got Young at right, Darmian and Smalling. Lindelof looks like he's playing at left back.
We could play till bloody 2030 and we ain't going to score 3 goals. So
fucking disgraceful. They were in the game up until the first goal, and then, as usual, the heads drop. One, two, three. Yeah, so it looks like we've got Pogba on the right-hand side, Lingard, Fred in the middle. No, Pogba's come out here now, ball over the top. Rashford, Lukaku's way open there, look. Go for it, Rashford. Just hit it. Don't fucking try and play around. Oh, no. Here we go. Rosed coming up.
oh, shot down and Lingard's on it. I don't think it's an easy one for Lingard that time, to be fair. But look, even there, Rashford should be getting that through to Lukaku. Sloppy.
Too long on the ball again. I mean, he could have even gone for it inside of his right foot. Try and curl it.
Lingard's crap, isn't he? Let's be honest. I think he should have done better with that one as well.
Yeah, he looks absolutely knackered, that lad.
I do wonder what Alexis Sanchez has to do to get on the pitch. I mean, I'm no fan of Sanchez. I'm definitely not a fan of Sanchez. But I do wonder what he has got to do to get onto the pitch, because I mean, Lingard has been atrocious again.
Lukaku using his weight there against Laporte. Ashley Young, throwing.
I don't blame De Gea. No, I don't blame De Gea. Not at all.
Oh, not for the goals. It's silly defending. Silly
Effing
defending.
Lingard has been absolute bollocks as Tyson Marley. Yeah, I agree. I don't get it. Fan cams are going to be very interesting because I think everyone's going to have a different opinion, aren't they? But I just think we've been very sloppy in the final third, and defensively we ain't good enough to keep a clean sheet. So,
Lukaku left foot, in it comes. No one there.
I mean, look at City here. They're controlling it on the edge of their box. They're passing their way out.
The amount of time Sterling had then to bring that ball down and get it under control. But Lindelof is left back anymore. Ball from Luke Shaw, Rashford.
Come on.
Lingard, look. Oh, Lukaku, oh my God.
Less said about that. It's a good cut back to Lukaku on the edge of the box, but it ends up in the car park as usual.
It's on his left foot. Put your foot through it, man. Put your fucking laces on it.
Yeah, he should be doing better with that. He's not. He's got all the time in the world. He's got all the time in the world. It's poor.
Look at that. It hits his heel.
That is poor.
Oh, truth.
I think at first I thought it was a difficult chance. Nah, it wasn't.
You know what? United Stand FC would give these lads a run for their money.
They would at the moment.
Yeah, they really would.
Well, for all those people who didn't want Liverpool to win the league, I think you're going to get your way. But that to me is.
I think that's the afterthought, isn't it?
I wanted United to win. Especially with Arsenal losing to Wolves yet again. I mean, Arsenal have lost to Palace and Wolves in the last 2 games, and we're still 6th because we've been beaten, but we haven't scored in the last 2 games.
No, again, go back to the comment earlier. 2 penalties, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Both from Pogba.
The thing is, ready for Romelu Lukaku, thumbs up again. Oh God, says David Smith. The thing is, we should have got top 4. We've blown it because teams around us are crap as well, but we just want to be the best at being crap. And I think City looked nervous in this game. I really do. I think they were there to be got at, and
they did first half. Company especially.
Where's the people on the edge of the box here?
Where's the midfield?
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Really, really, really bad. Again. I think, in summary, people will say, well, it's much improved, but is it? Is it? I don't know. I don't think it is much improved from Everton. I think the way we've set up meant that we were never going to get smashed. I think if we'd gone 4-3-3, with the way the players have played, we would have got smashed. I think the only positive from this is that we've kept the scoreline respectable. I don't think that actually, again, when I come to doing my player ratings, is anybody north of 6 out of 10? I don't think so. I can't think of anybody, again, who's had a good game.
Do you know what? I'm going to say it again. Have you seen goalie make a save?
For them? No.
Yeah. No.
I mean, he should have been picking his ball out the net from Lingard, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, it's almost as if we're shock shy. Just don't want to take a shot.
We're shit.
And look at that. Look at that ball there, look, from Fred. Luke Shaw and Rashford are there. Rashford runs past it and Luke Shaw just stands still. Yet the ball drops in between the both of them. It's the same.
What's all the notes about, though? Like, I can't be arsed with that. Ollie's talking to McKenna and McKenna's taking notes. What? We're 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go. What's your bloody magic pen going to do to tell them off in the dressing room again? It's clearly not working. Like, whatever you're telling them off about, it ain't working. So... I know, I'm just getting angry now. A point, even, we all thought a draw was the worst case result because I didn't think Arsenal were going to lose. But, like, a draw...
Luke Shaw giving it away, Aguero's in, Lindelof covers. Poor fucking hell, De Gea. Jesus Christ. It's the same reaction as the first goal from Everton. Their heads just dropped again. It's almost as if they...
Well, yeah, let's not forget, Aguero hit the outside of the post, didn't he, straight away?
So it's almost as if these players just don't believe in themselves to come back from a 1-0 deficit.
Well, to be honest, I didn't. I said if City scored the first goal, that would be it. And I ain't been proved wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think they have got the capability of doing it.
No, because you look at the attacking options and you think, who's going to do it? Who's going to get us a goal?
Alligator says, remember when the problem was Alexis getting in Pogba's way? Those were the days. Just end the season already. We all need therapy.
Yeah. I think here comes Alexis and Martial. I think the sad truth is that we've tried to find excuses for these players that we think can do well at United, when the truth of it is they're just fucking crap. It's as simple as that. They are just crap. If you can't up your game for this when there is so much on the line, then you really need to have a long, hard look at yourself. You're not fit enough to wear the shirt.
I mean, and what makes me laugh here is that we're clearly going to take off a defender.
It's too late. Got what, 8 minutes?
To bring on 2 strikers with 8 minutes to go. I mean, what's the point? You may as well keep your bus parks now and just keep it at 2-0. There is no point in doing what he's about to do. It's like, we ain't going to get back into this now. So why do it? I'm baffled. Absolutely baffled. But, I do... obviously that's taking an aim at Ollie, but I don't want to take an aim at Ollie because it's not the time. It'll be next season. He's got to
Lingard's coming off, which is probably about 15-20 minutes too late for Martial. Alexis is coming on for Darmian, I think it was. 36?
Yeah.
But yeah, Martial must think, what do you expect me to do in 7 minutes? And Inspector Clouseau here, what's he going to do? Have a shave, mate. Get that stupid bum fluff off your lip.
It's way too late, that substitution. Yes. It doesn't even make any sense. In the grand scheme of things, I'm like, what was the point in that? Dap says, what the hell is Ollie doing? Well, it doesn't make any sense because we're 2-0 down and you now go attacking with 8 minutes to go. It's like, you should have done it 20 minutes ago or don't do it at all. Don't do it with 8 minutes to go. Like, what's the point? There ain't the time.
I'll tell you what, next season, when VAR comes in, I fear for Smalling. I really do. Right.
It'll be the end of Smalling.
Foul. Yeah, we'll have that.
Well, you never know. We might win this.
Oh, look, there's a pig outside your window. Come on, look. Stop. Oh, chasing the game, man. Just get it forward. They look. Their confidence is absolutely on the floor. Yeah, that says a lot there. Pogba getting beat to a header by Sterling. Come on. Oh, look for something. Look for something. Where's the fucking runners, man? Move for him. There is no movement at all. They're just standing there. Oh, Lukaku, why'd you get that? Look, Rashford was in behind. Oh, come on, Luke, just whip it in, look.
There's a goal. Oh, why are you not getting to that before the bloody keeper there?
Two of them going for it. Alexis and Rashford, and Ederson manages to come out and catch it.
Yeah, Sanchez and Rashford going for the same ball here. No way should the keeper get for that. That's a absolute disgrace. Like that's either of those strikers, they've bottled it because they don't want to get a.
Look at that, and who was that that's just gone through? Fred and Sanchez. This is a huge difference here, right? Because you look at the Man City players and they run for each other. They look so together as a unit. And yet you look at United and it's always just one chasing down. You never see a pack of them.
I tell you what, if we have got any Liverpool fans watching, I'm not going to apologise to you because that's not how it works. But what I would say is that, look, as a United fan, I expected us to get a result tonight. I did. But you never, ever should have expected it. Because this is standard for us. You just the worst thing we did today, and I know the defence will get a lot of blame, but actually, you can't just have nil. That's the thing. Like, however many goals Man City score, they're always going to score a goal. So if it's nil in the United scoreline, that's it. We've lost. Like, so whatever the plan was, defensively we could have done a little bit better, but the plan has failed because we've done nothing again. In the final third, you can't get nil against City and expect to even get a point.
No.
And we ain't good, and also we are not good enough to beat teams like Man City and keep clean sheets. We can't do that.
No, and it goes to show how lacklustre our bench is as well, because in all honesty, we're chasing the game. What threat has Lukaku or Sanchez carried? Absolutely nothing.
Very, very disappointing. Top four, again, handed a massive opportunity again to get top four. And, let's not forget, we are at home. You know what? I think if we'd got a point from this game, we all would have said, well, it's an improvement from Everton. But actually, to lose it, I think, what is the improvement?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I don't actually see an improvement. I don't.
The first half, I think it was pretty equal. I think Luke Shaw's getting frustrated now, so that's a yellow. But yeah, as soon as the goal went in, their heads just went down again. and that's not the response Ollie would have been wanting. It's not the response us fans want to see either. You know, we want to see someone in this team would just pick them up and just say, "Come on, get on with it."
Pampers
You know,
FC, innit? That's what we are.
yeah.
That's what
I mean,
we've
they can
become.
bring on Jesus now, and I think it's Danilo.
I think Solskjaer gets a free pass, and I think he makes. T Ballard says, "Can we get a mustache emoji for the piano player?" We'll have to do that, won't we? But what I would say about Pogba, the reason he gets a free pass, and he is making massive mistakes. I think again tactically today, it's ridiculously wrong. But he's the manager. He's got a 3-year contract. He's going to have to be judged next season. That's just the way it's going to have to be. So that's why the focus at the moment is on the players and on the board, and the recruitment of players over the last 6 years has been a joke. But I have to say this, and I will do the player ratings on my match reaction. I can't think of a United player that's been better than a 6, and there's been a lot below that again.
Yeah.
I think we were getting away with it at 0-0. I thought the parking of the bus was working with 5 players behind the ball, but that could have worked. That could work for Fulham for an hour, like I said before. Where's the quality in a Manchester United side? Where is the player putting in better than a 6 out of 10? Certainly nobody in the front 6 did.
No. I think in the summer we need at least 2 or 3 quality players who are also leaders. I think that is the priority, and I think you got to look for leaders in a defensive position and a midfield position, and we also need a decent top quality striker. Because the stats are there in the last few games. Look, I'll go back to that comment earlier. 2 goals, penalties, and again, I can't think. I think Edison, he's made 1 save, but even that wasn't a great shot. It was quite tame. So the keeper has not been worked enough.
There's a worrying comment here from Pranav Kandawali saying every week more players become shit. This week it's Luke Shaw, and that is worrying because Luke Shaw's a player I really like. He's at fault for the first goal. I can't hide away from that.
I've never seen Old Trafford empty so quickly. And there's still formula. I know obviously the traffic's bad and that, and people want to beat the traffic, but they started piling out there at about 82nd minute.
Well, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we will have the fan cams coming up for you after the game as well. I mean, it's not for us to say. But with regards to the title, I think it's City's. I think tonight was always going to be the title decider. I said it both ways, and anything could still happen. I don't know who City have got, but if they can come to United and win, and they've beaten Spurs at home, they of course they can. I mean, they've lost to Palace at home, so of course they can bottle it. But
that says it all there. Lukaku's just chested it down from a throw-in and falls over his own feet. It's laughable. I think, it's the only plus is, much as I hate to say it, the only plus we take from tonight is the fact that the title looks like it's going to City, which a lot of us as fans.
I don't want Liverpool to win the league. Liverpool wouldn't want United to win the league, but that was never my motivation for tonight. It was not. It wasn't. I mean, I think Chloe or Sophie said it perfectly well with their contribution earlier on. That's just sour grapes and unsportsmanship to want to lose a game of football to stop Liverpool from winning the league. That was never my motivation. And to be honest with you, that's a small price to play at the moment because I know that we could have got something from this game today, and we didn't. And we didn't get it because, yet again, nobody's really turned up to the plate and put in a performance when we needed them to. And I'm disappointed by that.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing for me is this is the reaction that Ollie has got from these players. You get battered by Everton, and then 3 days later, you beat, I'm going to say, going by the second half quite convincingly by City. And again, it's the same old story. I mean, United just can't shoot. They really can't. I think a lot of these players they do need to go. I mean, it's obvious if we got to cash in on a certain person to fund 2, maybe 3 others, then so be it. I'm afraid he's got to be ruthless.
Well, I'm going to talk about Pogba at full time. I don't feel that Pereira. Sorry, my match reaction. I don't think that Pogba, stands out as any worse than any other player. But I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's about the rebuild of Manchester United, and I think that is he is a player that's important.
If you look at the players we've got in terms of valuation, he's probably the most valuable we've got.
Yeah. So
I think if you can get 2, 3, decent players in there, I think you have to do it. I do think you have to do it for the best of the club going forward. I think you've got to cash in on him, to be honest. And I've seen nothing tonight performance.
Well, De Gea might want to say he's good. Well, who would you give as your man of the match, Marcus? Because it's about to be United. Old Trafford's nearly empty. I hope somebody's going to give us a fan cam. Bloody hell!
Yeah. I've never seen it like that, Mark. They've been piling out since, honestly, I saw them leaving at 82nd minute, I noticed it.
Well, they're pissed off with the players, aren't they? They're pissed off with the players.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah. I mean, these players are just not giving enough, but man of the match, to be honest, mate, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you.
Anyway, that's the full-time whistle. Link in the video description for the match reaction. It's going to be quite a long one. I'm just going to say what I think about Paul Pogba. We'll give the player ratings again. I mean, I ain't going to hold back. I personally don't think there's any improvement from the Everton game. I don't. I think we parked the bus and we got away with it for an hour. Then when they scored, what did we do? Where's the fight? Where's the passion? They're a load of bollocks. The lot of them. They're a load of bollocks, them players. And I think Ollie got things tactically wrong. But at the moment, the biggest problem is that squad. We'll be talking about that. Link in the video description. Join me for that. I'll see you in about 60 seconds on that. But thanks for coming on, Marcus.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always. See you later, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
I'll see you on the match reaction in a moment.